in St. Louis right now, I think
NCAA March Madness.
Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. The desert is the site for opening night of the 2013 Arena Football League season, a rematch of Arena Bowl 25, Philadelphia and Arizona. Arizona kicks off. Let's get it on. Purified says, see you later. Touchdown, Rattlers. Purified's got it. And look at the sweep. Marquis White, touchdown, Arizona. Purified won't go down, and he's in for his 7th touchdown.
NCAA March Madness.
Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. The desert is the site for opening night of the 2013 Arena Football League season, a rematch of Arena Bowl 25, Philadelphia and Arizona. Arizona kicks off. Let's get it on. Purified says, see you later. Touchdown, Rattlers. Purified's got it. And look at the sweep. Marquis White, touchdown, Arizona. Purified won't go down, and he's in for his 7th touchdown. The Arizona Rattlers, Arena Bowl champions. Center in Phoenix, Arizona, as we are proud to present Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday on CBS Sports Network with a rematch of Arena Bowl 25 as the Philadelphia Soul take on the Arizona Rattlers. Hello to everyone. My name is Ari Wolf. So glad that you're with us. Last year was season 25, the silver anniversary. That one is in the books. It is a new era, the start of the next 25 years, and a new network partner for the Arena Football League. We are proud to announce that this season will be on the CBS Sports Network, and the season will culminate Arena Bowl 26 on August 17th, 1 p.m. in Orlando on the CBS Network with Arena Bowl 26. Now, who's going to play in that game? That's going to be the fun we will decide over the next 5 months, and I bring up my friend and partner Anthony Hare. Now, this is a rematch from the Arena Bowl. Wasn't that long ago? Arizona took it to Philadelphia. Why might tonight be different?
It certainly has to start with turnovers for Philadelphia. They went into that game in Arena Bowl 25, leading the league in takeaway margin at plus 23. Dan Rattlers, their quarterback, 3 interceptions in the first half. 4 takeaways total for Arizona's defense. That's what turned the tide in that game. Philadelphia has to start off on a better note tonight.
No guy can't wait for this game to start faster than Philadelphia Soul quarterback Dan Rattlers. He had a record-setting season a year ago, but Anthony in the championship game, 3 interceptions.
And all were in the first half. That was the thing that was so surprising, because Dan Rattlers has been one of the highest and most efficient passers in the Arena Football League heading into that game, and he's been hot. You know, over the last couple of seasons in his career with Clint Dozell as head coach, he's been a guy who's played at a high level, but they both admitted Dan Rattlers was nervous in Arena Bowl 25, and he feels like he has something to prove tonight.
For the Arizona Rattlers, they become the dominant team in the Arena Football League. 2 years ago, they lost in a devastating Arena Bowl. Last year, they win it all, and their quarterback, Nick Davila, you could make a case, is now the elite quarterback in the AFL.
When you look at the last 3 seasons, there's no one around the league who's put the regular season together with the postseason at the level that Nick Davila has. I mean, we talked about Dan Rattlers being hot, but Nick Davila's heat can only be measured by the Kelvin scale. This guy's playing at a level that no one else around the AFL is playing at this point. And when you think about it, he still went into the offseason, had a quick elbow surgery, put on a few pounds, and he's looking at being even better this year.
The Arizona Rattlers are looking to repeat. That has not happened in the AFL since 1996. Do not go anywhere. The opening kick coming up between the Soul and the Rattlers. All right, buddy, here we go. Hold on. All right, buddy, here we are.
Every child deserves hope and healing. Specialized care. We're marching through the brackets and breaking down the entire field.
How many teams have that legit shot at going all the way?
This year?
Yeah, right?
68.
I've said it nauseum for weeks. The two hardest teams to evaluate going into the NCAA tournament would be Gonzaga and Memphis.
They are not soft. This is a tough team, battle-tested, and the way they dominated their conference was a good sign to me.
Don't miss NCAA March Madness Bracket Breakdown tonight immediately following tournament games, only on CBS Sports Network. The CBS Sports family of networks, the highest standard in television sports, including the CBS Sports Network, Showtime Sports, CBSSports.com, and the CBS Sports Radio Network. The best in sports online, on radio, and on the air. CBS Sports. Expect it here.
There is the banner, the 2012 World Champions, the Arizona Rattlers, one of the most proud and successful franchises in AFL history. 7 Arena Bowl appearances, 3 championships. They waited a long time between championship number 2 and number 3, but there's no reason to believe, with the talent they've assembled, Anthony, that they can make another run at a title this year.
When you look at the talent that's in this lineup right now, we talked about Nick Davila in the open, their quarterback, and how hot he's been in recent years, but they've added additional weapons on the outside for him at wide receiver. Maurice Purify was already here, but Rod Windsor, who's going to be in the lineup for this team tonight, he was the Rookie of the Year a couple of seasons ago, in the lineup at wide receiver. The last 3 Rookies of the Year in the Arena Football League as weapons for Nick Davila.
Let's take a look at the rules of the game. We know we have many new audience members on CBS Sports Network. It is a running clock until the last minute of each half. Field is 50 yards by 85 feet wide, 8-yard end zones. No punting, no outside stunting or twisting. Field goals, 3 points for a place kick, 4 points for a drop kick, which you'll almost never see. Ball off the rebound net is alive, and 1 wide receiver may be in forward motion before the snap.
And Wolf, for the folks who haven't seen this game before, that second to last point, you mentioned that ball off the rebound net, as you know, that is where the Arena Football League goes berserk.
All right, Arizona to kick it off, Philadelphia to receive. And Philadelphia looking to quickly erase the memories of a season ago. Clint Dawzell last year was the offensive coordinator, now the head coach for Philadelphia. He has head coaching experience. He coached the Dallas Vigilantes in 2011. And one of the great quarterbacks of all time. He will be inducted into the AFL Hall of Fame during week 4 of this season. Vance Robinson is deep for Philadelphia. Garrett Lindholm will do the kickoff for Arizona. As we've got 15 minutes on the clock, and we're ready to start the 2013 AFL season.
What I really respect about the approach Philadelphia has taken is that they didn't say, we watched that Arena Bowl loss away immediately. They talked about how it's really stayed in their gut up to this moment, and they really feel like tonight is payback time.
Vance Robinson has spent the past couple of seasons with Utah, a very dangerous return man. So here we go. Season's underway. Robinson plays it cleanly, gets a block, and a good return out to the 17-yard line. Philadelphia's quarterback is Dan Radabaugh. In his 4th season, played his college ball at Miami of Ohio. Last year, Radabaugh, the best year of his career, 67% completion, 4,790 yards, 115 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. The guy's been a starter everywhere he's been. When he was at Miami of Ohio, he was a 4-year starter. So here we go, 1st and 10. Andre Thurman will be the motion man. Radabaugh looking deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Andre Thurman. Good coverage from Virgil Gray. And this is a conversation you'll see all night. Dan Radabaugh spent the past few years playing for Clint Dawzell, and it's a father, son, big brother, little brother. You pick the analogy, but these guys spent a lot of time together.
When you have a head coach who played the quarterback position, and he's gotten to work so closely with Dan Radabaugh over the years, I mean, he's got a high standard because he played at as high a standard as anyone in AFL history.
Tiger Jones in motion. Rodabon looking for Thurman, and it's incomplete. And already Dalzell is unhappy with his quarterback. Setting up 3rd and 10 for Philadelphia. A year ago, they were very good on 3rd down, better than 54%. That was 4th best in the AFL.
Defensively, for Arizona to match up inside with their nose guard, Antis Hawthorne. He's going to be facing a center who's been around the Arena Football League a bit, but he's got a new matchup that he can try to take advantage of tonight.
Rodabon with time, throws, and it's broken up nicely. Keith Brown, who is the defensive most valuable player of Arena Bowl 25, makes the play. And Philadelphia's got 4th and 10, and they will go for it.
Protection's been solid the entire first series so far, but the coverage on the back end, and especially from players like Keith Brown, you mentioned what he did in the Arena Bowl. 2 interceptions in that first half and had a really difficult matchup against wide receiver Donovan Morgan, but came up huge in that game for the Rattlers.
4th and 10. Rodabon over the top looking for Tiger Jones. He's got it. And he will just strut into the end zone. Touchdown Philadelphia. 33 yards. Rodabon to Tiger Jones.
As Tiger Jones was with the Philadelphia Eagles this past offseason, he couldn't get away with dancing like that in the National Football League. But this is why you go for 4th down in the AFL game. Because no matter where you are on the field or no matter what happened on any previous snap, you are always within striking distance.
Veteran kicker Carlos Martinez on the field in his 9th season. He was the 2011 AFL Kicker of the Year. Not a good snap. Ball sent down, kick is up, and it is good. So Philadelphia, nothing on their first 3 plays. They get to 4th and 10. And Rodabon finds Tiger Jones. And Tiger scampers into the end zone. Good start for the Soul. They lead 7-0.
Yes, no filler, no balance, just full. Available now.
The landing time got moved back another hour.
Hunger creep.
Big Bang Theory, and you're watching the CBS Sports Network.
Arena Football League on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Net 10 Wireless. No contract wireless on America's best networks.
There is our score early in the first quarter. Philadelphia leading Arizona 7-0. Arizona the defending Arena Bowl champs. Philadelphia really wanted to get off to a good start. They struggled so much offensively early against Arizona in the Arena Bowl. So this must give Dan Rodabon, Clint Dalzell on the offense some confidence early.
You and I were there. We were on location. We were in New Orleans. We called that game. We saw Dan Rodabon start slow, a couple of high passes, a couple of tip balls that led to interceptions. He looked similar to that on the first 3 snaps of that drive. That's why you saw the frustration in his head coach, Clint Dalzell. But completing that touchdown pass to the most explosive playmaker he has in Tiger Jones, that should settle Dan Rodabon down.
Martinez to kick off the deep man for Arizona is last year's Rookie of the Year, Jared Perry, who spent his rookie season with the Chicago Rush. In fact, Arizona, first team in league history to have the last 3 Rookie of the Years on their roster. Here comes Perry. And Perry forced out of bounds at the 10-yard line, and we will get a look at Nick Davila. season out of the University of Cincinnati, and Nick coming off the best season of his career, better than 66% completion rate, 5,500 yards, and 113 touchdowns, just 16 interceptions. When we saw him before the game, he looked a little more fit, a little stronger, and a little more mature. I mean, you told him he might be getting gray hair soon.
Well, he decided to cut the lengthy hair that he used to have. But he's had a daughter recently. He feels like he's starting to grow up a little bit. I can respect that.
1st and 10. Davila, and there's going to be a hold. Maurice Purify, the intended receiver, and Purify simply torched Philadelphia in the Arena Bowl. His numbers were staggering. 9 catches, 143 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Do you know that Philadelphia is concerned about him?
Maurice Purify.
So it's pass interference against David Richardson, and they're hoping that Richardson can match up with Purify size-wise. The question is, can Richardson run with Purify?
Mo Purify, without a doubt, one of the more complete wide receivers in the Arena Football League, and even he still worked on different things over the offseason.
Davila connects a gain of 8 yards, and it is Mo Purify. Talk about some of the things that Nick Davila worked on in the offseason, because from an outsider's perspective, there wasn't a heck of a lot to work on.
The results were most certainly there on the field over the last few seasons, but one of the things he wanted to do, he had a little bit of a frail build, so he put on anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds of bulk over the offseason and worked on his drops, being more consistent with how he steps back in the pocket.
Davila looking for Perry. He's wide open. He's got it. Touchdown, Rattlers.
Perry was the Rookie of the Year in the Arena Football League last season, the most recent in the lineup for the Rattlers. And you see him coming in that high motion. He's out in space against Rayshon Kaiser, one of the best covered defensive backs in the AFL. But when you've got that much space, that much opportunity, Jared Perry can make you pay.
Garrett Lindholm on for the extra point. Lindholm did not play last season. 2 years ago, he played with Milwaukee. Philadelphia looking to get a block, and Ryan Robinson's one of the best at blocking kicks. He's a little anxious that time.
Offside by the defense, half the distance to the goal, still to try.
AFL record 7 blocked kicks last season for Brian Robinson. And these are the points that if you can steal these points, if you play this snap hard, you're able to get them to miss an extra point. If these two teams continue to go score for score, then that 1 point that gets missed can certainly make a difference.
Lindholm, kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. Game tied at 7, 9:41 to go in the opening quarter. Nick Davila, looks like there was no off-season for him. Steps into this throw right on target to his new favorite target, Jared Perry.
Golden Corral.
At DoubleTree.com, so you can sit back, relax.
Sorry, pothole.
Welcome back. Game tied at 7, 9:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at the profile of the Philadelphia Soul franchise. 8 years in the AFL, 2 Arena Bowl appearances. Their Arena Bowl championship game in 2008. Notable players, Dan Raudabaugh broke all of Tony Graziani's records last year for a single season. And Derek Ross, and we'll talk about him a lot, he's kind of redefining the fullback position in the Arena game, because his ability to run the football gives Philadelphia real balance offensively.
There's a dimension that the Soul have on the offensive side of the football because of their fullback that no other team in the AFL has. And this franchise as a whole, they they've got a winning tradition. They've had their share of flashy owners over the years. John Bon Jovi, as you know very well, Larry Wolf, Ron Jaworski, still a part of the ownership group. It's a franchise that's known success, that wants success, and that tries everything they can to make sure they put the best product on the field as they can.
Lindholm to kick it off. Outbands Robinson is deep. Robinson plays it cleanly high off the net. Gets a couple of blocks. Good return for Robinson as he gets it to the 20-yard line before he's pushed back. They're going to give him forward progress to the 21. So Rodabaugh on the opening drive, as Anthony mentioned earlier, really didn't look very good on his first three throws. But that fourth throw looked real good as they got the touchdown to Tiger Jones.
And I believe what we're going to see on this drive, they're still going to come out, make sure they're keeping the defense honest, throw a deep ball or two, see if they can get Outbands Robinson, Andre Thurman behind the secondary. But you're going to start to see a little bit of Derrick Ross here, I believe, as well.
It is Derrick Ross. And Ross into Arizona territory. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Derrick Ross is redefining the position. 645 rush yards a year ago. That's an AFL single-season record. And with that carry, he's now 4th all-time in rushing in league history, and he's only in his 3rd year.
And I think it's going to be a key matchup. The difference maker on that side of the ball is going to have to match up with Arizona's nose guard, Antas Hawthorne. 14 career sacks, maybe the best in the business today.
Rodabaugh. Tiger Jones comes back, gets it, touchdown, sold. 2 touchdowns already for Tiger Jones. When you see Tiger doing this, it does make you wonder how Arena Bowl 25 might have been different if he wasn't with the Philadelphia Eagles and he was with the Philadelphia Soul.
He's so versatile in the way he can run routes. You see how smooth he is in that high motion. And Virgil Gray has been around this game for a long time, but covering a wide receiver as smooth, as slick, as silky as Anthony Tiger Jones, it's a tough task.
Martinez on for the extra point. Kick is up, no good. He pushed it to the left.
Keep track of that one. Could come back to bite the soul.
Philadelphia leading 13-7. Rodabaugh with plenty of time, and Tiger Jones, nice reaction to the football, gets the score.
Hi, I'm Kyle Chandler. When high school football...
This bracket breakdown tonight, immediately following tournament games, only on CBS Sports Network.
Next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Arena Football will be coming to you from the Big Easy as the Iowa Barnstormers take on the New Orleans Voodoo. We will see if the Barnstormers, who will take flight, while the Voodoo will try to put some magic on Iowa next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And a player to watch, Anthony, give me your evaluation of Kurt Rocco.
This is the AFL version of Joe Flacco. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens just won the Super Bowl not too long ago. Kurt Rocco is a young player in the AFL, starting to come into his own. He's starting to assert himself as a leader with that Voodoo franchise, and he's got a head coach in Pat O'Hara who played the position at a high level in this league as well. That's the type of story you tend to see league-wide.
But an even better tackle. Larico Stevenson caught just the backside of the heel. Or Virgil Gray might still be running.
Virgil Gray, after giving up that last touchdown pass, he certainly would have wanted to make a big play there. He's probably the best kick returner that Arizona has, but he suffered some injuries throughout his career. Every guy doesn't want to expose him too much to being back in that position.
1st and 10 for Nick Davila. 30 thrown 1 touchdown pass to his new target, Jared Perry. Davila throws that one and it's incomplete. Now, one of the aspects of our coverage of Arena Football that's unique to Arena Football is our access on the field. We will have live audio. You will hear Nick Davila call the play in the huddle, and we'll see if Anthony can break it down.
Z short, sail spot 1. On 2, ready?
Second and 10. We've got movement on the right side of the Arizona line.
Snap. Full start by the offense, number 72. 5 yards. Still first down.
That second-year man, Anthony Parker. He is a monster of a man. 6'5", 340 pounds. It'll take another listen after Kevin Guy gives the play call to Nick Davila.
Now 3 steps. On 1. Left wing zoom. Sail 2, 1. On 1. No.
Well, you heard the 3-step. He wants to get rid of it quickly. Able to complete the pass for a gain of 7 yards. Kerry Reed makes the catch. And Kerry Reed last year had a terrific season for the Rattlers. He was number 2 in all the receiving categories. 100 catches, almost 1,400 yards, and 27 touchdowns.
One of the guys who returned from the team last season, and they added these additional weapons. Even a receiver like Tyson Poots, who was up for AFL Rookie of the Year last season when he was with the Utah Blaze. Poots not dressed for the game tonight because there's so much talent on the outside.
Davila to throw. Purifies open, and Purify will take it for 6 touchdown Rattlers. But there is a flag down, and Anthony, I think the receiver was offsides. They often don't call him, but I think he was so far offsides they're going to bring it back. The motion man was a good step beyond.
The high motion man, number 15, was in the neutral zone before the snap. Half the distance to the goal. Replay. Third down.
One of the things that the Rattlers like to feature is to go in a bit more of a quick motion. When you see them coming in that move from behind the line of scrimmage and approaching the line of scrimmage, it's difficult to time that up. It takes so many reps in practice to make sure you get this down properly. But Kerry Reed, he was a good 2 steps beyond the line of scrimmage. And normally when you have a receiver who's that far offside, the quarterback usually takes advantage of that with the motion man, but Mo Purify is so wide open, he hit him.
Third long. Davila throws it to low throw. The catch is made. It's just enough for a first down.
There's versatility at the wide receiver position for Arizona because Jared Perry's a guy who can threaten you with his speed. When he gets into the third level, you saw Rayshon Kaiser have to back up, have to honor this wide receiver streaking at him with all the speed in the world. And so it opens up a void. It opens up just a little bit of additional space, and Nick Davila delivers it on the money.
Odie Armstrong brought down in the backfield. Keith Brown, the rookie out of Temple, gets in the backfield and makes a nice tackle. Odie Armstrong, one of the most complete fullbacks in the league, because while he can run the football, he's a great blocker as well. And Kevin Guy, the head coach, has talked to us many times about the hardest position to find on your roster is a fullback who can do all the things necessary to help the team.
But they don't use Odie Armstrong to the degree that Philadelphia does with Derrick Ross on the offensive side of the ball, but he's an excellent pass protector, and he can hurt you with the run.
Davila going deep, and it is caught. Mo Purify. Touchdown Rattlers.
It's the anticipation that separates Nick Davila from so many other quarterbacks because the ball leaves his hand before Maurice Purify has made the third move. He comes off the line of scrimmage, thinks as he's going across on a slant, goes back towards the corner, and the ball was already out of the quarterback's hands before the defensive back, David Richardson, knows what to do. You got eyes on the QB, but you have to come out of that speed turn and be able to catch up with the wideout.
Lindholm's extra point is up and good, and Arizona has their first lead. It's 14-13. 3:34 to go in the first quarter, and Davila looking razor sharp. In stride, Purify makes the catch.
Hunger creeping up on you? Stash a Ritz Cracker Pulls made with real cheese and whole grain. Don't get caught hungry. Ritz Cracker Pulls.
Welcome back to Arizona. A beautiful late afternoon. Arizona leading Philadelphia 14-13, 3:34. And let's introduce the third member of our broadcast team, and he's no stranger to AFL fans. Last year voted the #1 quarterback in AFL history. Let's send it to Seth Bonner.
Thanks, Ari. Down here with Ron Schertz, the owner of the Arizona Rattlers. And Ron, talking about this team, this organization, what made you want to step in and really take over this team?
Well, part of it was back when you played. I mean, I came to all the games, so we were excited about being a part of it. And I've been coming since the very first day, and it's just a great place to be. And it's just a great organization. And fun to be part of the community.
That's awesome. Show us this beautiful ring made by JLS, the box and the ring, the Arizona Rattlers Arena Bowl champions. Hold up the ring and show everybody that is incredible. You're doing a good job. How proud are you of this organization?
Well, I'm just, these guys go out and compete, and it's just fun to be part of it, and it's fun for the community. And, obviously we had an opportunity to win the game last year, and we'll see what happens this year.
All right.
Thank you, Seth. Well, they have a lot to be proud of. This has been a great franchise, great fans. 2 seasons ago was Heartbreak City for them as Aaron Garcia and Jacksonville won the title on the final play of the game, but they got redemption last year. A convincing win in Arena Bowl 25 over the Philadelphia Soul. Robinson plays it high off the net. Robinson had his own guy blocked into him. That was Andre Thurman. Decent field position, though, at the 13-yard line for Dan Rodabaugh and the Philadelphia Soul. Rodabaugh so far has 2 touchdown passes, both of them to Tiger Jones. And Tiger Jones, even though he missed the final 2 regular season games a year ago, still finished with a franchise record 2,010 receiving yards. And Tiger Jones has had a great career from the start. He started his career in Georgia and was the Rookie of the Year. They give us to Derek Ross, and the ball comes out. I could have sworn I heard a whistle. They're letting him play on right now. Well, the official on the far side blew his whistle.
There definitely appeared to be a whistle on the field. Didn't appear to stop the action on the field. Not sure if I would use the term inadvertent whistle, but I certainly heard something. See if we can hear it. Just did a quick give on the dive play, and it does look like before the knee was down, an additional defender came in, put his hat right on the football.
Is that the runner was down by contact prior to the ball coming loose. The whistle was blown prior to the ball coming out, and the ruling is that the runner was down. It is second down.
And Kevin Guy wants to have a conversation about challenging this.
See, he's already got that red flag in his left hand. So the discussion that he's having with Sean Hockley right now is trying to figure out, am I allowed to challenge this because the whistle was blown? So that essentially is supposed to stop play. So by the rule, I don't believe this is a challengeable situation for the Arizona Rattlers.
The conversation continues between Kevin Guy and Sean Hockley.
Let's take another look at this because it looked like Derek Ross was wrapped up around the legs. At least had his legs tangled up.
For Arizona to challenge and win the challenge, there must be an immediate recovery in the aftermath. It is second down. Arizona has decided not to challenge.
Philadelphia catches a break.
And that is a great explanation for Sean Hockley there. They could have challenged, but because it wasn't immediately recovered.
Thurman bobbles it, but then makes the catch at the 21-yard line. And let's take a look at the instant replay rules. 2 challenges per team per game. Must have a timeout remaining to challenge. If a challenge is lost, a timeout is lost. But if a team wins both challenges, a third challenge is awarded. And I think the best feature is all the fans at home will get to see the exact same replays as our official. And Sean Hockley will go through the process and explain it to the viewers at home.
They get to hear the internal monologue of the head referee.
Ross on third down. Looks to cut it back. He will not pick up the first down. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation by the nose guard, Shady. 5 yards, first down.
That's on Antaj Hawthorne, one of the best noses in the Arena Football League. He spent his entire career with the Arizona Rattlers.
And that term shading that you heard Sean Hockley use is because the nose guard has to be directly head up on the center in a zero technique. So if he is shaded to either side towards either A gap, that's where the illegal formation call comes in.
1st and 10 for Philadelphia. 2 minutes and counting in the first quarter. Jones in motion. Rodabon, pump fake, up over the top. He connects. Alvis Robinson gets it. Touchdown to Philadelphia.
Robinson, 24 yards for the Philadelphia touchdown.
Clint Dozell told us he doesn't really like the big skyscrapers at wide receiver. The receiver corps for each of these two teams really don't look the same. You see guys for Arizona 6'2", 6'3". You see the majority of the wide receivers for the Philadelphia Soul around the build of Alvance Robinson, and it's because Clint Dozell likes guys who are shifting. He wants people who can explode into the third dimension of the defense.
Well, if you go back in history to when Clint Dozell won his world championship with Grand Rapids, he had all little receivers. So he's taken that philosophy and continued it now that he's a head coach.
By the offense, number 95, 5 yards, still the track.
And weren't we expecting this, what we're seeing right now in Arena Bowl 25? I mean, just a few months ago, we thought these two teams, two of the top offenses in the AFL, were going to come out, go score for score. It was going to be extremely difficult to come up with a stop. Arizona just came out, and they brought it to Philadelphia from the opening kick. It wasn't much of a contest in the second half, but this is what you expect to see with talent like this on the field.
Martinez has already missed one, now he's missed two. Now keep in mind, those goalposts are only 9 feet wide across, and the crossbar is 15 feet off the ground, so the kicking game very challenging. Philadelphia lead is 19-14. We'll take another look at the touchdown.
Alvance Robinson throughout his career has been a little underutilized in certain situations, but he's always been surrounded by other types of talent. So to the field side as a wide receiver, this is a route you don't always see as much, because more often than not, the field corner is a guy who's expecting the shorter passes, the safety valves, but Alvance Robinson, by formation, able to beat the coverage and be able to dictate where Dan Rodabah is going to deliver the football.
Quarterback comparison between Rodabah and Davila. Both very successful. Davila a hair more efficient, and he's waiting for his third possession of the game. We think back, Rodabah has 3 incompletions were his first 3 throws of the night. But since then, he's been perfect. Let's go down to the field and check in with Sid.
Thanks, Ari. Coach, you guys are doing a good job offensively, moving the ball. What do you got to do defensively to stop this Soul team?
Well, if they're going to throw the ball down the field like that, we got to get to the quarterback, and we can't give up big plays like that. We need to go make some plays on the ball.
You plan on doing anything differently coverage-wise, or just asking you guys to man up?
No, our guys don't make a play. They just need to keep playing and get into a groove, and they'll make a play.
Ari?
Thank you, Sid. For all the latest news, scores, and inside information, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to chat with fellow Arena Football fans or just check in on the very latest league standings or stats, arenafootball.com is where it's at. On the return, Perry only gets out to the 2-yard line. Andy, this early in the season, who has the advantage, offense or defense?
This early in the year, and really at any point in the season in the AFL.
By the receiving team, number 11. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line, first down.
Because it's the Arena Football League, you pretty much say the offense has the advantage no matter what. You do anticipate, though, the points you're making. As you go through the season, offense is more in rhythm. Quarterbacks more used to working with wide receivers, especially with each team having new and different talent on the outside. But there's no doubt about it. It's the AFL. Whether you're in week 1 or week 18, you're going to give the advantage to the offense.
First and 10. Davila to Windsor. Windsor drops it. Windsor spent last year with the Cleveland Browns, and Windsor had a dominant rookie season back in 2010. Tied the team record with 283 points. And let's take a listen.
Trips left, duck, X zoom, 0 scissors, 1-1. Here we go. 3 set. Trips left up, X zoom, 0 scissors, 1-1. On 1, right?
to see trips here to the field side. It'll be a quick back motion from Maurice Purify. Always going to be a safety valve here short.
Purify, the intended receiver. Rayshon Kaiser was right there. And that's the end of the first quarter. We expected lots of points. So far, each team has scored on every possession. At the end of one, Philadelphia 19, Arizona 14. You're watching Net 10 Arena Football Saturday on CBS Sports Network.
While we are all created equal, teams are not. Teams venture into uncharted waters, challenge the laws of physics, and pull off the impossible together. Instead of running their mouths, teams roll up their sleeves and run out on the field together.
Points. So far, each team has scored on every possession. At the end of one, Philadelphia 19, Arizona 14. You're watching Net 10 Arena.
To be a challenger on the field of life, gotta feel the fight and the physical anguish, anger, reach down to yourself, this pain is no stranger, so let me verse you, win or lose, no number two, only number one, this is not even I don't do it for the money or the fame, this is not a game, win or draw, it will never be the same.
Let's go to our game recap of the first quarter, and certainly no surprise. We expected plenty of offense. Philadelphia, on a fourth down play, gets the opening score of the game, Tiger Jones. And then the newest addition to the Rattlers, Jared Perry, gets the touchdown. Again, it's Tiger Jones. Purified, to say he was wide open would be an understatement. Vance Robinson completes the first quarter scoring.
Each of these quarterbacks has had their pick of the litter so far with wide receivers they've delivered the football to, the pass rushers from each of these football teams, the Arizona Rattlers, the Philadelphia Soul. At this point, and especially for an AFL game, you've got two offenses extremely hot. You've got to find a way to come up with that one stop. We saw Philadelphia almost gave the football up on a fumble last series. Can Arizona make sure that they keep their offense clicking?
Dangerous spot here, third down. Davila from deep in his own end zone. And Perry got hooked up with Kaiser, and it's going to be a penalty on Philadelphia.
Pass interference by the defense, number 7, grab and restrict. 10 yards, automatic, first down.
Rayshon Kaiser's been around this game long enough. He tries the vet move as he feels like Jared Perry's starting to get beyond him. Doesn't come out of the speed, turns fast enough. And as you do, you've got to take an angle up the field shoulder towards the wide receiver. A lot easier said than done. Just tugged him around the hip a little bit, but nice call by the back judge.
The scary thing for every team in the Arena Football League is it appears that Arizona has upgraded at the wide receiver position, and they're already the defending champs. Davila got hit on the arm, but Perry in the right place makes the catch. Down at the Philadelphia 20-yard line. That ball was up there. It was up for grabs. As Philadelphia finally got pressure on Davila.
They're calling for the pass rush. It looked like one of the younger pass rushers, Calvin Fant, who was able to get in there late and apply just a bit of pressure. So you got this duck just waiting in the air. And Jared Perry, who's Johnny on the spot, just bringing the football down. So go up and make sure you high point it, just in case, as he does.
They set up the screen. Armstrong with the catch. And he bulldozes 11 yards for another Rattler first down. Maurice Purify, you talk about difference makers. This guy has made the most of his seasons in the AFL. I've yet to see a defensive back that has, over the course of 60 minutes, been able to beat him. And tonight it's on the shoulders of Kaiser.
39 career interceptions through 3 seasons. He's on pace to be the all-time interceptions leader in the Arena Football League now. That pace could slow down at some point, but this is going to be a great matchup throughout the night.
First and Larico Stevenson. Well played. Stevenson came over to Philadelphia late in the year last season. It was actually a suggestion from former Philadelphia Soul wide receiver Donovan Morgan.
And Ari, this is what approaching the red area does for you. The football's on the 9-yard line, and so now the space, the confines of the Arena Football League come much more into play. And what we saw there from Larico Stevenson, you can take more chances. You can undercut routes because the space is so limited behind you. You've got an extra defender on both side walls and also the back wall.
Second and goal. Davila, the throw, and Windsor can't get to it. And your point is so true, and it really depends a lot as well on the shape of the end zones. Arenas are different. This arena, at the backside of the end zone, you can't run through. You can't catch it and keep running. Some arenas, there's some room. Some of the end zones are rounded, which means those corner routes are almost impossible to throw. This is a pretty good area, though, here at this arena, where you've got enough space for your receivers to do some damage.
Legal formation by the offense, number 2. That penalty is declined. 4th down. Correction. 3rd down.
We'll go 1-1 here and get it.
Yeah.
Let's go X right. X right, X right.
Come on now. 3 steps. On 3. X right, X zoom. 1-1-1. On 3. Ready?
You hear him talking three-step. You know the football's going to come out of his hands quickly. Anticipate the fullback over the Armstrong cut at the line of scrimmage.
And Philadelphia offsides. Quay, the second-year man out of South Dakota, the nose.
Before the snap, offside by the defense, number 54, unabated to the quarterback. Half the distance, still 3rd down.
Let's take another listen to the conversation between Kevin Guy and Nick Davila.
All right, let's go now. Let's go. You want to go uncover here?
Yeah.
Right, Z divide. 0 on cover 1. Let's go.
Hey, boys, give me time. 5 steps. Right, Z divide. 0 uncover 1. On 2. Ready?
So when he's talking uncover, he's going to give an option to the wide receiver. Coming in motion. Looks like here's Rob Windsor.
Davila, throw, touchdown Rattlers. Kerry Reed.
And so you can use the motion receiver to run off coverage. And you see Kerry Reed just work off the line of scrimmage slowly and then just ease his way towards the corner. And all Nick Davila has to do is just deliver a teardrop right beyond the defensive players.
Lindholm on for the extra point attempt. Lindholm right now, the difference in the game. He hasn't missed an extra point. Philadelphia has missed 2 extra points. And the Rattlers lead 21-19. When we return, Philadelphia and Dan Rodaba back to work on offense.
At LegalZoom, you can take care of virtual.
Welcome back. Tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern, we will have NCAA March Madness Bracket Breakdown. Our top college basketball experts and analysts will give you a recap of today's third-round action and preview tomorrow's third-round action. Tune in at 1 a.m. Eastern only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network.
It's not very often where you get a football game that's likely to outscore most of the NCAA tournament basketball games that are going on this weekend.
Based on the basketball I've seen, I think that's a fair statement. We've seen some low-scoring games.
It's a big upset.
My beloved Badgers went down yesterday. They only scored 46 points. That kick over the top of the net, and that's not a good thing. It used to be a great thing.
It used to be a great thing.
But no longer.
Because the kickoff went over the net, it will by rule be placed at the 20-yard line, 1st down.
Let's send it to Cedric Bonner.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Adam Sachs, the Vice President of Operations for the Ultrastar Multitainment Center at Ak-Chin Circle. And Adam, talk about your facility. $50 million, 165,000 square feet. Talk about your facility.
Absolutely. State-of-the-art facility. Vision of Ak-Chin community to create a mega entertainment center for both Ak-Chin as well as the Maricopa, as well as all of the Phoenix Valley. We have movies, bowling, dining, sports lounge, live entertainment, you name it. We take care of it.
And talk about your partnership with the Arizona Rattlers. What drew you with this great organization?
You know, it was a perfect blend. It was a perfect mix. Our brands, both family first, community oriented, dedicated to making sure that we provide a great entertainment experience. We're looking forward to doing some great things here in the arena, as well as having the team and the Sidewinders and all the fans down to the Multitainment Center so we can do some great things with them, have some fun, and just drive it up, live it up.
Sounds awesome. Thanks, Adam.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, guys. First and 10 for the Soul. Rodabon. Quick strike to Tiger Jones. There is a flag on the play. If the play stands, it's a gain of 8 yards.
Potential leg whip here. Tight end. That's precisely what it is. You can't hear Sean Hockley right now, but the tight end, number 95, Jason Jones, got beat inside by the defensive end. And I may have been guilty of one or two of those in my career where if you get beat inside, your leg's there anyway, take him out.
Let's take a listen to Dan Rodabon.
Here go on 2 on 2, on 2 on 2. Hold your water again, okay? Let's go trade left, 50, Z corner on 2 right.
Makes the catch, not much of a gain, just to the 25-yard line, right at midfield. It is week 1. You can expect some penalties the opening week.
Here.
Illegal formation by the offense, number 4. 5 yards. Replay. First down.
Come back. Let's go left, wild back, 50, wide out. Hey, we're okay. First down, first down. Let's go left, wide back, 50, wide out. First down, ready.
There's variation in the play calls because with Philadelphia, Clint Ozell calling specific route combinations for Dan Rodabon. Wide receiver going to run an out route here.
Rodabon looking for Tiger Jones, and there's a battle for it, and it's incomplete. Terrific defense from Arizona.
More choice routes, more option routes for Arizona on the offensive side of the ball.
Marquise Floyd
in coverage. The pass was ruled incomplete on the field. Illegal defense. Number 20, the jack was out of the box. 5 yards. Automatic. First down.
Jeremy Kellum in a jack linebacker. And Anthony, explain the limitations of the jack linebacker.
The box is 5 yards deep, and so with Jeremy Kellum, number 20, in at the jack position, he can't retreat any deeper than 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, but he is allowed to roam sideline to sideline to be active with the play, no matter which direction it's going laterally. But the depth has to stop at 5, or that's where you see the penalty for being out of the box.
Go!
Rodabon, quick strike, nobody on Alvance Robinson. And he scurries on the right side of the field. It's going to be first and goal at the 10.
What you tend to see on the offensive side of the ball, especially with Philadelphia, is basically just a tennis match. You're going to see them attack one sideline, then the other sideline. It's going to be attacking the numbers, attacking the other numbers. All this space and opportunity out to the wide side of the field. And for the defense, by formation, they can only cheat over there so far. And that's why you're allowed to get Alvance Robinson the football short and allow him to use those afterburners to threaten the defense with it.
First and goal. Rodabon looking for Jones. That ends up in the front row. Nice catch by the fan there, number 9, the 9th man. Well done.
Check out the hat. You got to love a cowboy that can play some football.
Roughing the passer by the defense, number 6. Swung his arm below the neck head area of the quarterback. After distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
That penalty goes against Cliff Dukes, one of the great linemen, as he took a shot to the head of Dan Rodabaugh. One thing to keep in mind, if you're new to arena football, any football that ends up in the stands, the fan gets to keep it and take it home. Nice little perk.
I believe the football can fit in that hat that we're seeing right there. He might have it in there. I don't see the football anymore.
Do you think he'll put it in like a basket in his hat, use the hat as a basket, take it home?
It's at least a good 12 to 15 gallons he's got on his head, I believe.
First to goal at the 5. Rodabaugh ball gets tipped and incomplete. Anthony, are you surprised at how little Philadelphia has used Derek Ross so far?
Not yet. Because after that first series, it did look like the Dan Rodabaugh had settled down to a certain extent. We've seen Derek Ross start to get the football some throughout the game. Down here in the red area, it does get a little bit more difficult. Good opportunity here on the 5-yard line, second down. You may see Derek Ross get the football, but they try to do it by formation. If they feel like they have a defensive end to the field side who they can reach block, you'll see Derek Ross get it.
Second to goal. Now it's Ross. And Ross keeps on fighting. And he's blinded, and he's in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Relentless. Derek Ross gets his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Just like you and I would draw it up, Wolf. You get a reach block to the field side, you get a dynamic ball carrier with the football in his hands, and as soon as he hits that hash mark, he plants his foot, barrels downhill, and will not be denied.
With that touchdown, Derek Ross breaks the all-time record for rushing touchdowns for the Philadelphia Soul. He was tied with Chris Ryan, and now he's alone in first place with 33 rushing touchdowns.
You beat the Soul Train?
To throw it over to Derek Ross. So special teams right now is really hurting Philadelphia.
Try is unsuccessful. Timeout.
We will take a break, but here's another look at Derek Ross, the best running back in the AFL, and he would not be denied. He gets the 6.
Hold on.
Welcome back to Net 10 Wireless, Arena Football Saturday night on CBS Sports Network. Here with Derek Ross. Take us through that last touchdown and the power you just got getting in the end zone.
Oh, man. A great by my offensive lineman. Cavallo just helped me in there. I just followed him and I went into the end zone. I had to get that score.
Sounds like a plan, guys.
A record-breaking score for Derek Ross, and if he stays healthy, he's going to shatter every rushing record that's ever been set in the history of the Arena Football League. It's not even going to be close.
He's the first fullback in AFL history to have back-to-back 600-plus yard rushing seasons, and then you add in the fact that in only season 3, by the halfway point of this season, he could be the all-time leading rusher. There have been some great ball carriers in the history of the AFL.
A split kick this time. Gray will come up to his own 5. And Gray runs into his own man, and that helps Philadelphia. The forward progress is stopped at the 16-yard line, and that's where Arizona will start out first and 10, but we take a break. Rock 'em, sock 'em, and let's go little Dukes. Let's get Sid and Anthony in there.
Put up your Cliff Dukes.
Break the news gently. We need to leave our contract plan for Net 10 Wireless.
What? Says who?
Change can be difficult.
I love my phone. Yeah, she loves her phone.
You could keep your phone and number, but for half of what we pay now.
Half?
I don't love our family plan. It doesn't mean I don't love you.
Welcome to the next generation of family plans. $50 the first line, $40 each new line with unlimited everything. Visit net10wireless.com.
Yes, no filler, no balance, just full. Available now.
We're Rascal Flatts, and we are so proud to serve as ambassadors for the Jason Foundation and all of its efforts in addressing the national health problem of youth suicide.
Are you aware that suicide is the third leading cause of death for our youth ages 10 to 24, only surpassed by accidents and homicide? It's also one of the leading causes of preventable death in our nation today. So whether you're a student, educator, or parent, you can help make a difference in your own community.
Visit jasonfoundation.com to learn how you can start making a difference today.
Whoever said you can never have too much of a good thing
What a catch!
must have been a sports fan. Get more 24 hours a day. More upsets. More rivalries. More championships. The networks of CBS Sports. Get more.
Philadelphia leads Arizona 25-21, but Philadelphia has 3 missed extra point opportunities, or they lead by 7. Become an insider with AFL Field Pass for behind-the-scenes content straight from the AFL players and coaches, along with the inside scoop on your favorite teams. There's also exclusive deals on merchandise and prizes. Go to AFLFieldPass.com. Nothing brings you closer to the game. Nick Davila so far 8 of 13, 119 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the most important stat, 0 interceptions. And if you go back to the Arena Bowl, he continues to take care of the football. The Arena Bowl, he was 23 of 30, 266 yards, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
I can't remember the last time Nick Davila threw an interception. Last season, 113 touchdowns to only 16 picks.
Davila, the throw, complete. It's Windsor. Windsor brought down at the Philadelphia 15-yard line. Try to put into words the impact of having Purify along with Windsor, because they're very similar receivers.
They really are. From a versatility standpoint, I would say maybe Rob Windsor more physically gifted, if you can believe it or not, between the two. But you get the sense that they're easing him into this game a little bit. The two guys of similar stature, both with extensive NFL experience, but here in the Arena Football League, they're able to be utilized in a multitude of ways.
Go!
Davila connects. It's Purify. Gain of 9 yards. Now, it's going to take a few weeks. I never like to jump to conclusions, but on paper, it's hard to believe that there's a team that has a better or deeper receiving core to start the season than Arizona.
Kerry Reed, who's a top-flight wide receiver, has essentially been turned into a Jack linebacker in a lot of cases. He's playing a bit of that Iron Man role. He's playing Jack, playing a lot of wide receiver. Tyson Boots, like I mentioned earlier, not even in the lineup tonight.
They give this to Armstrong. He gets the first down. It'll be first and goal at the 3, and we'll take a listen to some live audio on the field.
Trips left close. Okay, wing zoom. 28 top. Here we go. Come on now. Trips right close. Wing zoom. 28 top. I want it. Come on.
I was hoping he was going to say something about running the football. It's an advantage you have with a good physical fullback.
Armstrong pushes the pile forward. Is he in? No signal. They're going to rule him just shy, just inches away.
Was ruled short of the goal line. Second down.
So close to getting into the paint. You see the edge of the offensive line, Michael Huey trying to get the reach block, staying on the defender, and Odie Armstrong. It didn't look like there was a great opportunity to turn it upfield much earlier, so he threatens the numbers and gets downhill, but the defense did an excellent job at the point of attack, not getting knocked back. The line of scrimmage, as much as it's important in the outdoor game, here in the red zone, it is in the AFL too.
They keep it on the ground, and no touchdown.
Interior of the defense for the Philadelphia Soul. They know we just have to root this out. We just have to do everything we can to make sure that the Arizona Rattlers offense doesn't knock us off the line of scrimmage. Now you've got a third and short situation coming up. Arizona deciding not to bring in any big personnel.
Davila wants to take it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Rattlers. Nick Davila, the rushing touchdown. He had 7 rushing touchdowns a year ago.
Maybe this is where that extra 10 to 15 pounds that the former league MVP put on this past offseason.
70 eligible.
He gets a little help from his friends back there, Odie Armstrong, a little shove in the back. Never hurt anybody.
Lindholm on for the extra point. He's been perfect thus far, and he really is the difference with Philadelphia having all kinds of problems in special teams. Extra point is good, but hold on, there's a flag down. I think the kicker got hit. I think we're going to have roughing the kicker. And they can not take it here and assess it on the kickoff.
If we're not going to have roughing the kicker, we certainly should. He took a shot.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker by the defense, number 6. That 10-yard foul will be enforced on the first play after the kickoff. The conversion is good.
So just to explain that, so wherever Philadelphia returns the ball to, they're going to have to back up 10 yards. Dan Rodaboff will come out and try to lead them. Let's take a look at the big hit. Oh, yeah, 2 guys hit him. We'll be right back.
Protect your family and launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Flashback to Arena Bowl 25 in New Orleans. The Arizona Rattlers dominated from start to finish. Nick Davila, 9 touchdown passes. 7 of his touchdown passes to that guy, Mo Purify, who would not be denied. He had a monster game as Arizona wins 72-54. Hello again, everyone. Our work alongside friend and partner Anthony Herron. So glad you've joined us for the opening week on our new network partner, CBS Sports Network. And Anthony, when you think about this game, this seems a lot more of what we expected in the Arena Bowl.
If we would have gotten this a few months ago when we were in New Orleans for Arena Bowl 25, who knows? Maybe the result would have been different, but you can't erase the past. And what we're seeing today, 2 top flight quarterbacks, 2 of, I believe, teams who are going to be the better teams in the Arena Football League this season.
And so quarterback Dan Rodaboff had a real lesson to learn. And for more on that, let's go to Cedric Bonner.
Thanks, Ari. It was just one of those moments coming off the field after the game. Dan was going to run into the locker room, but my thought was sit there and take it in, use it for fuel for the upcoming season, and tonight so far he's come out to do just that.
Thank you very much, Sid. It is. You got to use it as fuel. And when I saw him before the game, I said, you must be the most excited guy to play tonight out of anybody out here. And he's like, you know it.
But he had close access. You know, he was right there with Ced Bonner. He's won multiple Arena Bowl championships, the greatest quarterback in NFL history. And to be able to use that and learn that lesson from a guy who's won championship games and a guy who's lost championship games as well, that's what you can use to help fuel you, not just today, but throughout the remainder of Dan Rodaboff's career.
He's certainly been sharp tonight. Philadelphia has scored touchdowns on each of their possessions. Their problem has been 3 missed extra points. And while some of it's on Carlos Martinez, they're having problems snapping it and getting a good hold. Alvance Robinson on the return. And Robinson brought down. Very nice tackle by Virgil Gray. And that's one of the beauties if you're new to Arena Football is some guys will play offense, defense, and special teams.
So roughing the kicker foul from the scoring play will be enforced half the distance to the goal. First down.
And there, the penalty from the roughing the kicker penalty will back Philadelphia up halfway to their goal line.
Right, 34 pop over it.
Gain of about 4 yards, and we have come to the 1-minute warning.
Each team has 3 timeouts.
And we will come back and explain the timing rules in the final minute. A lot can happen in the final 60 seconds of the half.
We're
Arizona leads Philadelphia 28-25. Be sure to check out arenafootball.com for all the latest news and information on the Arena Football League. While you are there, be sure to shop the AFL Team Fan Shop for the latest team gear. Check out arenafootball.com today. All right, Anthony, we've come to the 1-minute warning. The timing rules completely changed. Let's talk strategy a little bit here. The clock will stop on any incomplete pass, a play that ends out of bounds. And so for your Philadelphia, with a minute, they've got no concerns about time. It's Arizona wanting to have enough time to get another possession.
In Philadelphia, to be able to start to run that clock out because Arizona's going to have the ball first in the second half. The timing rules are now going to be more familiar to the outdoor game.
Tiger Jones makes a nice catch. Ball was just a little bit behind him, but makes the catch and run down at the Philadelphia 24-yard line.
So in the AFL, with as quick as points can be put on the board, as fast as touchdowns can happen,
Timeout
you can end up seeing sometimes
first of the half.
2, 3, even 4 different possessions between the two teams here in the final minute.
But here's an example. What we're talking about is Arizona wants to preserve time. So they use a timeout right now with 46 seconds to go in the half. And in their mind, they're thinking, in all likelihood, Philadelphia is going to score. And we want to make sure we give ourselves enough time to have another possession.
If Philadelphia scores, of course, that will give the Philadelphia Soul the lead. So Arizona getting the football back, having an opportunity to take the lead into the half, and then getting the football first in the second half, factoring all these different plays in, you can have a 2-score advantage coming out at the start of the third quarter.
If Philadelphia plays it right, though, and it's a slow, methodical march down the field, and they force Arizona to use their timeouts, Philadelphia ideally would score with very little time left to go in the half. They tried to set up the screen, and it's batted down by Marcus Pittman.
Third down. It looked like they were just going to set up a quick tunnel screen, and Marcus Pittman was able to get his hands up. You see Derrick Ross there, lets the defender go. And if Pittman doesn't get his hands on this football, Derrick Ross might be off to the races as a fullback. You only want to give him just a little bit more of a shove to create a window for your quarterback to deliver the football through. But Derrick Ross got just a tad bit anxious.
Jones in motion. Looking, throws. And Thurman had it and dropped it. So now third down with 37 seconds to go in the half, and this has also helped Arizona
third down
because it's back-to-back incompletions and 37 seconds remain on the clock.
The Rattlers still with 3 timeouts remaining. Clock is stopping on incomplete passes as it has not up to this point.
Straight left, the inside, 50, deep post. Here you go, on 2. Straight left, the inside, 50, deep post, on 2, ready.
You're going to see the receiver come to the inside position as Alvance Robinson motions in here. He's going to be the touchdown target.
Roundabout. Alvance Robinson, beautiful catch. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Robinson, 26 yards for the Philadelphia.
26 yards. Roundabout to Robinson. Robinson's second receiving touchdown here in the first half.
It's not just about the speed he possesses after the ball's in flight, but watch the move Alvance Robinson makes at the line of scrimmage. He's almost like a great pass rusher because you got a defensive back there wanting to stop your momentum, but Virgil Gray just can't stick with him. A nice quick arm over move, and then it's time to put on the checks when the ball's in flight.
Here we go.
Martinez on for the extra point attempt. It's been a struggle in the first half, but he gets this one to go. So the Philadelphia lead is 32-28. Coming up next, the PBR Built For Tough Series comes to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't miss the world's toughest athletes battle the world's biggest bulls. Next on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And there is literally no amount of money that I would pay to see Anthony Herron try PBR. I mean, we could get that. And here we're seeing some of the studs in this line of work. I just like to see you up there with the cowboy hat on and see if you could do it.
I don't know. That might have been Shane Proctor who was down there catching the football earlier in the game. like they were just going to set up a quick tunnel screen, and Marcus Pittman was able to get his hands up. You see Derrick Ross there, lets the defender go, and if Pittman doesn't get his hands on this football, Derrick Ross might be off to the races as a fullback. You really want to give him just a little bit more of a shove to create a window for your quarterback to deliver the football through, but Derrick Ross got just a tad bit anxious.
Jones in motion. Rodaball looking, throws. And Thurman had it and dropped it. So now third down with 37 seconds to go in the half, and this has also helped Arizona.
Third down.
Because it's back-to-back incompletions and 37 seconds remain on the clock.
The Rattlers still with 3 timeouts remaining. Clock is stopping on incomplete passes as it has not up to this point.
So straight left, be inside, 50, be close. Here you go, on two. Trade left, Z inside, 50, Z post, on two, ready.
You're going to see the receiver come to the inside position as Alvance Robinson motions in here. He's going to be the touchdown target.
Rodaball. Alvance Robinson, beautiful catch. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Robinson, 26 yards from Philadelphia.
26 yards. Rodaball to Robinson. Robinson's second receiving touchdown here in the first half.
It's not just about the speed he possesses after the ball's in flight, but watch the move Alvance Robinson makes at the line of scrimmage. He's almost like a great pass rush because you got a defensive back there wanting to stop your momentum, but Virgil Gray just can't stick with him. A nice quick arm over move, and then it's time to put on the jets when the ball's in flight. Here we go.
Martinez on for the extra point attempt. It's been a struggle in the first half, but he gets this one to go. So the Philadelphia lead is 32-28. Coming up next, the PBR Built For Tough Series comes to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't miss the world's toughest athletes battle the world's biggest bulls. Next on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And there is literally no amount of money that I would pay to see Anthony Herron try PBR. I mean, we could get that. And here we're seeing some of the studs in this line of work. I just like to see you up there with the cowboy hat on and see if you could do it.
I don't know. That might have been Shane Proctor who was down there catching the football earlier in the game. You mentioned it earlier, Wolf, when the football goes into the stands at an Arena Football League game, the football stays, but if a player goes in the stands, you got to throw him back.
And we've seen that happen many times. You got to throw the player back. Can't keep him and take him home. No.
In the front row, you get a show one way or another. You might catch a football, you might catch a helmet. You're certainly going to catch a lot of high fives and all kinds of interaction with the players. That's what's so great about the AFL.
A little trash talking as well.
Some of that going on down there.
Visiting team, like when you go to Spokane, if you're the visiting team, you're basically talking to the Spokane fans the entire game.
This ninth man concept has just swept Arena Football Nation. You get some of the great environments in sports because the fans have such access to the players. It's right on top of the action.
Virgil Gray is back deep for Arizona. Gray fumbles it and then tracks the football down at the 4-yard line. So Arizona, they've got 30 seconds to work with. What are you thinking here, Anthony, in terms of how much of a hurry does Arizona need to be in? Because they're not out of timeout, so they can work it down the field.
And I think you can run your standard Rattlers offense here. You're not going to see them throw the ball deep because that's not really consistently a big part of what they do. You get your heels out of your goal line, complete a couple of short passes first.
Davila, quick one to Windsor, immediately gets out of bounds at the 10-yard line. That only took 4 seconds off the clock.
And as a reminder again, now here within the final minute, that's why now the clock's stopping. Ball goes out of bounds, incomplete passes, more similar to the outdoor game.
I want to remind everyone to stick around for the Net 10 Wireless halftime show. We will talk with the AFL Commissioner, Jerry Kurz, about some of the exciting things coming up for the 2013 season. We'll have much more than that coming up at the half. Davila connects. It's purified. takes a few more seconds off the clock. Now down to 21 seconds.
I got to tell you, Wolf, the pass rushes for both teams really, but now the Philadelphia Soul defense on the field right now, they just haven't been collapsing the pocket. They haven't been getting after the quarterback at a high level. You're not going to come by a lot of sacks in the Arena Football League usually, but you want to keep the quarterback under duress. Right now, both Nick Davila and Dan Rodabaugh look completely comfortable in the pocket.
To give that sack number some perspective, Brian Robinson, number 12 for Philadelphia, 4th in the AFL last year, in 18 games had 10 sacks. You just don't get many. Davila with throw. Purified. He's in. Touchdown, Rattlers.
The relationship between the pass rush and the coverage is about as close as anything in sport, because if you don't pressure the quarterback, you leave your defensive backs out on an island. But if you're going to be on an island, you certainly don't want to have to take on wide receivers like Maurice Purified. Brian Robinson made a nice inside move. He was crawling, he was biting, he was scratching, trying to get to Nick Davila, but he couldn't. I mentioned a deserted island. You might as well keep your hands warm around the fire.
Well said. Lindholm's extra point is up, and it is good. So 35-32. The one thing that Arizona might have liked was to take a few more seconds off the clock. There's still 15 seconds to work with. And again, if you're new to Arena Football, a lot of things can happen in 15 seconds. And let's check in with Sid.
Which way? Talk about what you guys are coming out here. You got 15 seconds left. You've been able to move the ball. What do you plan on doing?
Well, I'm probably going to expect some soft zone here, so, hit the underneath, try to get it in field goal range. If not, we're going to try to get a quick score here, try to get another 6-foot half.
How careful do you have to be to not turn the ball if you get backed up in your end zone here?
Yeah, that's a real key thing, taking control of the ball, because they're going to get the ball to start the second half. We want to try to get yards here and 6 if we can, but, protect the ball, get it out there, and make something good happen.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Ari?
Thank you, Sid. Until an experienced AFL quarterback, Dan understands the situation. While he'd like to get the touchdown, most importantly, no critical mistakes late in the half.
Speaking of critical mistakes, we see the 3-point deficit for the Philadelphia Soul right now. We keep harping on that throughout the half. Those extra points, they seem small at the moment, but they come back to bite you.
Robinson plays it cleanly. Robinson, lots of room to work with. And Lindholm, the kicker, comes up to make. That was a textbook tackle at the 18-yard line. That's pretty impressive.
So not only is he strong enough to kick the football over the nets, but he's athletic enough. One-on-one out in space with the explosive Al Vance Robinson. And watch the kicker come in. Wraps him up, runs through contact. I like it.
That was impressive.
Maybe get him some bigger shoulder pads and put him in linebacker. They might be overstepping things a bit, Mr. Redhall.
Don't get the guy hurt, all right? Keep things in perspective. 10 seconds to work with. And the ball's on the ground, and there's the critical mistake. Arizona football, 6 seconds to work with.
Really curious to take another look at this one. Did Dan Rodabaugh pull out a little bit early? No. An experienced center, Brendan Carvalho, just didn't get the football up to his QB. The ball really almost never even got off the ground. That is a critical mistake for one of the top centers in the Arena Football League.
All right, Arizona 6 seconds to work with. Do they try to maybe get another 5-10 yards to get out of bounds and go for the field goal, or do you take a shot at the end zone?
You take a shot at the end zone. If you're Arizona, you know you're about to get the football to start the third quarter. This is a dagger-type opportunity you can try to take.
Davila connects with Purified to the 15. 3 seconds to go in the half.
3 seconds remaining, 2 timeouts for the Rattlers. If I'm Kevin Guy, I'm thinking touchdown. 3-point differential, so if you're up by 6, you're still within 1 score. I think this is aggressive time. You're on the 15-yard line.
Here we go, end of the game. I'll push it to the 2-yard line. 5 step, right Z short, 7, 8, on 2, ready.
lot of carries. But Davila knew he was in trouble.
The high motion man was in the neutral zone prior to the snap. That penalty's declined. That's the end of the first half. Timeout.
So the first half complete. Arizona leads Philadelphia 35-32 in a rematch of Arena Bowl 25. And this is a far more competitive and entertaining game than we had in Arena Bowl 25. Until Philadelphia's last possession, the first half was turnover free, and now let's check in with Sid.
Hey, Clint, you're down 3 points. You guys have played well. Turnover didn't cost. You guys were able to recover defensively. What do you got to do coming out second half?
Well, we got to play better. I mean, we've struggled to score. Defense, we've had some opportunities, hadn't taken advantage of them. So right now, we just got to go back in and settle down. We're kind of playing a little bit tight, and we're starting to settle in, though.
About these big wide receivers from Arizona, how do you guys go about stopping these guys or trying to contain them?
Well, the biggest part is we got to stay inside. We haven't stayed inside on them. They're hitting crossing routes, and that's a cardinal sin. You don't give up the inside in arena football.
Thanks, Clint. All right.
Thank you very much, Sid, and thank you to head coach Clint Dozell. Our score at halftime, Arizona leads Philadelphia 35-32. After the break, stay tuned for the Net 10 Wireless halftime on CBS Sports Network.
Let's pin.
And now for the Net 10 Wireless Halftime Show.
Welcome back to U.S. Airways Center for the Net 10 Wireless Halftime Show. I am Ari Wolf. So glad that you've stuck around for halftime because we've got an important man. The commissioner of the Arena Football League, Jerry Kurz, has joined us. And Jerry, this is your opportunity. Give us a state of the league at this point as we head into the 2013 season.
I'm just so ecstatic. Our owners have been so great helping us in the offseason. Our coaches, our players, we're just heading in the right direction. We had some contraction, but a lot of people said that helped us build our talent pool. Great game tonight. A rematch of the Arena Bowl on a great new partner, CBS, which is tremendous. We're growing, but we're going to do it steady and strong.
Mr. Commissioner, one of the things that everyone's really excited about is that the announcement's already come out for another neutral site Arena Bowl. It's going to take place in Orlando this year. So what are some of the things that people can look forward to, and what went into the decision?
Yeah, what went into the decision is that as much fun and a great experience it is to be at the host city, but knowing where it is ahead of time so fans can get reasonable airfare, reasonable reservations. We can plan a whole host of events, including a concert with KISS headlining. They'll be doing a halftime show as well. Tickets are about to go on sale for that concert. There's a whole bunch of things going around with KISS and other fan activities. We want our fans there and involved.
KISS Army. I don't know if Ari's already in the KISS Army, but it sounds like they're going to be storming the field in Orlando.
If I'm not already, I can promise you I'll be in the KISS Army by August 17th at 1 p.m. for Arena Bowl 26. We are going to take a break. We're going to come back with more Net 10 Wireless Halftime Show. We're going to talk about some of the great players in the league and some of the great teams. Don't go anywhere.
We're Rascal Flats, and we're...
Welcome back to the Net 10 Wireless Halftime Show. Nick Davila doing some coaching in the Arizona Rattler locker room, and it is a new season. The Rattlers are the defending champs. But who will win this year? Who will win Arena Bowl 26? We know both the teams tonight are contenders. They played last year's Arena Bowl. But Anthony, who are some of the other teams to watch?
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to watching a few different teams. The first one we're going to talk about is the Orlando Predators, and they're the host team for Arena Bowl 26. And once you look at their roster, you see that they've got a quarterback in Kyle Rowley who was there. And we were at the broadcast a few years ago. He was the Arena Bowl MVP with the Spokane Shock just a few seasons ago. So adding him as a quarterback and having the motivation to be the host team for the Arena Bowl, really looking forward to Orlando. A couple of other teams we're going to talk about as well, though. The San Antonio Talons The San Antonio Talons are a team who they came off a great season last year. They've lost Aaron Garcia as their quarterback, but they've got some great talent on the defensive front. They've added a couple of guys who were in San Jose last season, so got off to a 14-4 regular season, and then the postseason they were eliminated in the first round, but I think San Antonio is going to be a team to watch. The San Jose SaberCats, who I mentioned, they're a team who I believe with the talent they've added, and not only have they added talent on the defensive side of the football, but they've added a quarterback in Aaron Garcia, the all-time leading passer in professional football history with well over 1,200 touchdown passes, and he's got plenty of talent around him. Look forward to San Jose as well, and then of course Utah. We know Tommy Grady, some of the amazing over 1,200 touchdown passes, and he's got plenty of talent around him. Look forward to San Jose as well, and then of course Utah. We know Tommy Grady, some of the amazing numbers that he's put up over the last couple of seasons, especially setting a professional football record last year with nearly 150 regular season touchdowns. I'm extremely excited about Utah, and of course Sid Bonner, he knows all about quarterback play, so he's going to tell us a bit about some of the guys who he's excited to see this season playing that position.
That's right, Ari. I mean, Anthony, obviously we got to start with the old man of the crew. We got to start with our man Aaron Garcia down in San Jose, taking over for a great player in his own right. You think this guy would be slowing down, but over the last 2 years, 234 touchdown passes, over 9,000 yards passing, just 33 interceptions, so he seems to be getting better. Like a fine wine, he's doing a great job getting better. Then our next guy, we got Tommy Grady, the big gunslinger, 6'7", over 10,000 yards and 249 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Last year setting a record of 5,800 yards. Big Kurt Rocco doing a great job. First full year as a starter, 5,300 yards, 107 touchdowns. So the league is in good hands with young quarterbacks. We'll be back for more.
Tom's Barbecue. Congratulations.
This has been the Net 10 Wireless Halftime Show on CBS Sports Network. Net 10 Wireless. No contract wireless on America's best networks. CBS Sports Network.
Don't let this team hang around. Don't let them hang around now, okay? We can't afford to get into a fourth quarter game. Well, let's go ahead third quarter, take control of this game right now, and let's go knock them out now, okay? Let's tighten up our protection, okay? They can't cover us, guys. Cannot match up with us. Can't do it. As long as we keep bursting off the ball and stepping on their toes, attacking their technique, we'll get after them, okay? Defense, make a play. Okay, we've got them in those third and fourth downs. Now we got to get them off the field now, okay? Let's go. Keep playing. Keep playing. Here we go.
The always fiery Kevin Guy. And Anthony, what stands out? First half stats.
Statistically, it doesn't show up. I want to see defensive linemen hitting quarterbacks. There's 1 turnover so far in the first half, that courtesy of the Philadelphia Soul, but it's not going to show up in the stat sheet for defensive linemen busting quarterbacks in the chops. That's what I love to see as an old defensive lineman, and that's what's really going to end up having an imprint on this game.
Anthony, the real thing to me, though, so far is that Philadelphia has 3 missed extra points. So this game will be tied at 35. And, you know, if you're new to arena football, and it sounds like we're harping on this, those points come back to haunt you. This is a 3-point game when this game should be tied at 35.
No doubt. You're right about that. But let me talk about wrestling the QB, because you know I love it. Well, we see Nick Davila. You see how calm and comfortable he looks there with his helmet off. He looks the same exact way with his helmet on. I mean, the Arizona Rattlers have guys who can rush the quarterback, but they're being outplayed up front by the Philadelphia Soul offensive line. But conversely, on the other side of the football, the same exact thing is happening. You see quarterbacks taking 3-step drops. You see Nick Davila there, 5-step drop. No defensive lineman in his face. You don't see people having to evacuate the pocket. You see Dan Rodabout, he didn't have to run back out of the pocket there. You want to see quarterbacks on the ground. You want to see people molesting these guys in the pocket, and there are no defensive players around them. If the game is going to change for either one of these defenses, it's going to come from the fact that their pass rush starts to make an imprint on this contest.
Nick Davila, excellent play in the first half. As the Arizona offense, the only time they didn't come up with points was when they got the ball back with just 6 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The defending champs, the Arizona Rattlers, playing host to the Philadelphia Soul, opening night of the 2013 AFL season. Kevin Guy, as we heard him Mario getting his team fired up. And both these teams offensively came out in sync. We expected a lot of points, and we got a lot of points in the first half. And there you see the Rattlers' first half possessions. 5 touchdowns, and then you can't really fault them. They only had 6 seconds to work with because Mr. Aggressive Anthony Herron said no field goal, no field goal. Let's take a look at the first half for Nick Davila.
It's the anticipation of Nick Davila as a quarterback that makes him so difficult to defend. Because even as a rusher, when you do put good pressure on him, the ball's usually gone. And as a defender in coverage, the football's out of his hands, and it's on the money to a wide receiver before you even come out of your break. And so when the football is so accurate, and it's out of the hands of the quarterback so quick, and he can anticipate where his wide receiver is going to be, how do you cover a QB like Nick Davila? The answer still has yet to be found.
Philadelphia to kick it off. Martinez, the lefty, to start the third quarter. And here we go. It's a short kick. Virgil Gregg. And he bobbles it around. Stays on his feet, and now he will go down. Extracurriculars, that is not a safe.
By rule, the ball will be placed at the 3-yard line because the runner did not get out of the end zone. First down.
That's the one, it's hard to call it a penalty, but that's the one negative. If you don't bring it out of the end zone, you only get it at your own 3-yard line instead of the 5.
For the uninitiated in the Arena Football League, you have to attempt to return the football from the end zone. I didn't notice it at first. It was actually the backup quarterback who made the tackle in the end zone. That's impressive. Even Gassett got back there.
First and 10 for the Rattlers. First half numbers down about 14 of 19 for 201 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. And that ball's on the ground. So a fumble between the center and the quarterback. That's what happened in Philadelphia on their last series. But now Arizona in a tough spot, backed up to their 1-yard line.
You're here with your heels on the goal line and now moving back. You're going to be in the end zone. You can get anxious as a center. You can most certainly get anxious as a quarterback because you can see that defensive front across from you with blood in their fingertips. And so it's about the opportunity to try and see if you can get a safety and make that play that turns the game for your football team.
Second and 12. Davila to Perry, who's immediately wrapped up. Stevenson with the tackle. Now a critical third down coming up, and let's take a listen to the head coach with his quarterback.
Give me that 7-6-1. Now it's time to give me that 4-6. Huh? 7-0-6. Right Z short. There we go. 5 step. On 1. Right Z short 7-0-6. On 1.
Catch, and it takes 3 guys to bring him down at the Arizona 24-yard line. Purify now with 7 catches in the game for over 115 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And Maurice Purify can run the entire route tree. We've seen him run the short pass. We've seen him run the deep route. Now the dig right over the middle and no fear. There's no defensive back in the league who strikes fear in the heart of Maurice Purify. And he's got such quiet hands. He just goes out, snatches the football, just like he's on a Sunday stroll.
I don't know what kind of Sunday strolling you're doing, but usually mine doesn't involve getting tackled by 3 guys. Davila going to Perry, bobbles it and catches it. That's a live football touchdown. Rattlers. Jared Perry's second touchdown of the game. So making an impact in his first game as a Rattler.
Did you see the way he set the route up? I mean, there was really essentially 3 moves there. Where he shows the streak initially, then shows the post, then goes back to the corner. This Poco combination is something we'll talk about a lot throughout this Arena Football season on Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday because it's so essential to every offense in the league as they try to score.
So for the first time tonight, it is a 2-score lead for Arizona. Extra point is on the way, and it is good. The Arizona lead is 42-32. So now some work coming up for Dan Rodabaugh and the Philadelphia Soul.
Yes. Underpaid interns.
Next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Arena Football will be coming to you from the Big Easy as the Iowa Barnstormers take on the New Orleans Voodoo. We will see if the Barnstormers can take down the Voodoo. Voodoo will try to put some of their magic on Iowa. That's next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And those are the first half possessions for Philadelphia. Everything's great because the fumble didn't hurt him, Anthony. The problem was the 3 missed extra points.
The 3 missed extra points, and then, as we keep harping on, Arizona getting the football first here in the second half, now having that 2-score lead. So the possessions become even more key because if Philadelphia comes back and scores, they still trail. So now the Soul have to find a way to steal a possession back in this half.
And again, if you're new to Arena Football, the onside kick percentages are significantly higher in Arena Football than they are in the outdoor game. So if it comes to it, Philadelphia may have to resort to an onside kick, but that wouldn't happen until the fourth quarter. That ball is a live football. And Stevenson, he showed, hey, coach, put me in the return game.
Stevenson carries.
There's going to be a penalty on Arizona. I think that was a horse collar or a face mask.
Flag on the play.
There is no foul for a horse collar tackle. The defender's hands were not inside the shoulder pad. First down.
But it did appear that the tackler even had his hand in front of Stevenson as the return man. All right. Hand kind of slipped around the back of the jersey, but as Sean Hockley explained, it was because it was not inside. You do see that receiver get called a horse collar on occasion, though.
First and 10. To give to Ross, and he fumbles it. And Arizona recovers. And Pittman is going to be down at the 9-yard line. Derek Ross.
The Arizona player is ruled down by contact. First down, Arizona.
It wasn't ruled a fumble, and this time he gives it up, and it will cost the Philadelphia Soul.
Marcus Pittman has shown a knack tonight for getting his hands on the football. Excellent job by the defenders. You see 2 defenders holding up Derek Ross, and then Kerry Reed comes in and puts his hat directly on the football. And that's how you coach it. Those are the drills that you do during the week of practice. Once a tackle's secured, come in, go for the turnovers, try to get the takeaway, attempt to make the big play.
First and goal at the 9. Reed in motion. Davila, pump fake. Going to the corner, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time from David Richardson. Davila on the night now, 16 of 22 for 244 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a rushing touchdown.
There we go. Rip it. Right Z short. Sail spot 1. On 1.
Davila to Perry. And Perry tackled at the 6-yard line. And a flag comes in. Joe Gooseby, who's an excellent tackler who led the Soul last year in tackles, came up with the stop.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by number 69 of the offense. 10 yards from the end of the play, the down count, third down.
That's Michael Huey, who last year was first team All-Arena.
There's been some extracurricular going on at different points throughout the half so far. You get these big offensive linemen, they come in, they lay on defenders, they shove them a little bit late, some of these other things that happen. Every once in a while you're going to get caught. So that's where, especially as a player, the level of Michael Huey, you got to know when to lay back. You got to know when to make sure you're not picking up a penalty for your team.
Critical play for the Soul defense. They cannot afford to go down 3 scores. Third and goal from the 16. Davila feeling pressure, and he'll go down. Philadelphia comes up with their first first sack of the night, and now it's 4th and goal.
Coverage sack. And the entire play took maybe 2.5, 3 seconds tops, but that's the level of coverage you need, especially once you're inside the 20. And you see the way they're passing off routes, gone from man concepts that Philadelphia prefers to use to the zone concepts. And there's a good, just a pocket that gets collapsed by the defensive front because they don't allow any escape angle for Nick Davila, and he's certainly not a quarterback who's known to be able to take off and hurt you with his feet anyway.
33-yard attempt for Garrett Lindholm. Back in 2011, his last season in the AFL, he was 20 of 32 on field goals. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way. And it is good. So the Philadelphia defense has to feel at least pretty good there, Anthony. You hold them to 3, and Philadelphia is still within 2 scores. We will take a break. 8:52 to go in the third as Lindholm drills the 33-yard field goal.
Mom! Dad! Why wait till school ends for the fun to begin? When we can totally go to Orlando in May or June and do more of the stuff we love. Dad, we can ride more rides. Mom, we can catch more shows. Sis, we can meet more characters and still get plenty of pool time. Plus, we still have our summer fun to look forward to. So, what do you say? Shall we start packing?
There's time for more in May and June. More fun, more smiles. Plan your May or June getaway today at visitorlando.com/more.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
How many did there?
The Arena Football League at shop.arenafootball.com.
The Rattlers lead the Soul 45-32, 8:52 to go in the third quarter. And Philadelphia dodges a bullet by limiting Arizona to just 3 points. This could have started to get at least a little out of hand in arena football. As long as you're within 3 scores, you still got a shot.
Especially once you get to the final minute of the game where possessions can bounce back and forth so frequently.
But Philadelphia could use a spark right now. A big kick return would help. Alvance Robinson is deep for Philadelphia. Lindholm to kick it off.
He's been close on a couple of returns earlier in the game. Robinson is looking to break one.
Robinson breaks the tackle across his own 20 and close to midfield. And let's check in with Sid.
Coach Guy, they've been able to stifle you offensively just a bit. How do you get your guys back in rhythm?
Well, you know, we stopped ourselves with a stupid penalty after the play that backed us up. So we just can't play dumb football, and that'll be addressed on Monday. But, you know, at the end of the day, we got to be able to execute down in the red zone.
How do you feel the play of your offensive line outside of the penalty has been thus far in the game?
Well, we had some protection breakdown there, and that's because we had a penalty and we had to get back into 5-step. So we were in a situation where we could have 3-stepped and we didn't because of the penalty.
Thanks, Coach Ari.
Thanks, Sid. Tiger Jones. Great catch. It's going to be first and goal at the 1.
Arizona's done a nice job since the first quarter of making sure they're matching up coverage a little better with Tiger Jones. But when Dan Radaba is going to deliver the football as accurately as he does right here, I mean, he couldn't have gone out and handed the football to Tiger Jones any more accurately than he does right there. It's almost impossible to defend.
First and goal at the 1. Keep in mind, Derek Ross has had problems today holding on to the football. They give it to Ross, and he's in. Touchdown.
Ross carries.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Ross's second rushing touchdown of the night.
This was easy. Just a quick dive play. Derek Ross cuts it back. Now with his second touchdown in the game. Moves past Chris Ryan, as you mentioned earlier. Now 2 touchdowns beyond Ryan, and a lot of Philadelphia Soul fans from years past remember the Soul Train and all the touchdowns he scored.
Jason Jones, who's a new acquisition for Philadelphia, number 95, did a great job blocking on that play. He really took 2 guys and squeezed them towards the middle of the field. Here's Martinez for the extra point attempt. Hold everything. Delay a game on Philadelphia. And one thing I can promise you is the special teams meeting for Philadelphia with Clint Dawzell is not going to be a good time.
One of the players who's in a new position right now, Brian Robinson, one of the great pass rushers in the AFL. He's the long snapper this season for the Philadelphia Soul. No experience as a long snapper coming into this year. He's just tried to pick that up during training camp.
This is the equivalent of a 23-yard field goal. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So well done by Carlos Martinez. And this is back to a 3-point game. Nick Davila and the Arizona Rattlers back to work on the offensive side of the ball when we come back to Phoenix.
Golden Corral just made the weekend better than ever. It's our $12.99 premium prime rib.
Just one more way. The new Enclave is smart, made beautiful.
Welcome back to Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday on the CBS Sports Network. Week 1 of the season, rematch of Arena Bowl 25 to kick off season 26. Philadelphia trailing 45.
Ready for anything. Just one more way. The new Enclave is smart, made beautiful.
Welcome back to Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday on the CBS Sports Network. Week 1 of the season, rematch of Arena Bowl 25 to kick off season 26. Philadelphia trailing 45-39. Martinez to kick it off. Gray waits. He's muffed a few of them. He'll do his best to come out, won't get out. The ball be placed at the 3-yard line. Tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern, we have NCAA March Madness Bracket Breakdown. Our top college basketball experts and analysts will give you a recap of today's third-round action and preview tomorrow's third-round action. Tune in at 1 a.m. Eastern only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the kicking team number 1. That 10-yard foul will be enforced from the 3-yard line because the runner did not get out of the end zone. First down.
So improved field position for the Arizona Rattlers. There are the numbers on the night for Nick Davila. Only 5 incompletions. Had the procedure on his elbow in the off-season, since he's as healthy as he's been since he started his AFL career. It looked like his arm was a little too strong that time as he overthrows Purify.
And I've been talking throughout the half so far about the pressure that hasn't been put on the quarterback. We've got Seth Bonner down at field level. When your quarterback said, hey, you know that pass rush isn't getting home, does it open up the playbook that much wider for you?
It really does, but it also can make you a little bit greedy when you know you could stand back there. You wait on something instead of maybe taking a check down that you should get. You wait on a big play.
Second and 10. Davila steps up, throws downfield, too much on the throw, looking for Purify. Set from your field level, we saw magnificent Nick Davila in the Arena Bowl. His number is very good tonight. Have you noticed any change?
Just the arm strength. There's a lot more arm strength. He's been a lot more decisive when he stepped into his throws. He's been a little bit off in those last 2, but he's been way more decisive and a lot more strong in the pocket.
It's nice to have the greatest quarterback in AFL history to ask these questions in the middle of the game. You were a defensive end. I mean, what do you know about quarterback play?
I know
said. He's one of those guys where it hurt when you hit him. I mean, he's so big. He's every bit of 6'4", 240 pounds. But Seth Bonner, when you hit him as a defender, you felt it. Normally you like those smaller guys that when you hit them, you kind of hear them wince a little bit, and you drive them into the turf. Said you had to kind of, it took you 2 or 3 different efforts to try to get a guy that size on the ground.
Well, I had to put that weight on. My first year, I was 193 pounds, and that didn't feel too good in the cold tub every day, so I had to put a little weight on and get some meat on my bones. Not all of it was great weight, as in Davila's gun, but it definitely helped.
1st and 10. Davila. And they go to the big fella. Cornelius Dixon, third-year man out of Missouri Valley. And that's a great way to slow the pass rush down, even though Philadelphia hasn't gotten much of a pass rush all night.
But you still love the ability to keep a defense honest. You allow the pass rush to get into the backfield. As a quarterback, that's got to be fun. Just loft a little softball over there to your big fella.
First and 10 for the Rattlers at the Soul 13-yard line. Davila to the end zone and broke it up at the very last moment. Rayshon Kaiser, when we've mentioned his name tonight, it's because he's gotten beat. There, Kaiser makes a play. Last year, he set an AFL record with 41 passes defended. And actually, I'm not sure after taking a second look that he had anything to do with it.
Well, his hand does flash in the face of the wide receiver, but Rayshon Kaiser is known as a guy who's willing to undercut routes. And so the chances that you take against a DB like that is to see if you can loft the ball over his head, because he's going to take those chances.
But that will not go down as a pass defended. 2nd and 10. Flag down. Davila, jump ball. Incomplete. Purify wants a flag. He's not going to get one. A good bit of sportsmanship there.
And this is one of those situations where as a quarterback where you know you've got a great DB like Rayshon Kaiser, who appears to not be playing at his utmost level so far.
Offside by the high motion man. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
So then the question comes, and I'll go ahead and pose the question to Seth Bonner. When you're facing a great DB and it looks like he's not at his best tonight, do you continue to attack a Rayshon Kaiser?
With these monster receivers they have in Arizona, absolutely. You keep going at them. But instead of the double moves, just go at him and make a quick move and go. No double moves against him because he's got good feet. His start and stop is excellent.
3rd and 10. Davila, time, throw, Kerry Reed, caught, touchdown.
We just heard the greatest quarterback in Arena Football League history talk us through it. Kerry Reed ran a decisive route. He went up the field, made one move, sticks that foot in the ground, goes out towards the corner, and Nick Davila knows exactly where his wide receiver is going to be in the back corner.
Touchdown pass number 6 of the night for Nick Davila. Keep in mind, his last game, Arena Bowl 25, 9 touchdown passes. We've still got 17 minutes of football. Flag is down. Lynn Holmes' extra point is up and good. Quite a conversation going on right now. There's about 10 people in there trying to... Sean Hockley says, you know, let's step out here and have our own conversation.
A meeting of the minds, if you will. Using that phrase a little loosely.
Offside by the defense, number 12. That penalty's declined. The extra point is good. That is number 12's 2nd foul of that type.
We will take a break. 2:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Rattler lead is 52-39, and Davila a strike to Kerry Reed.
Sports Network.
Pop Warner, your future begins here.
Welcome back to Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday on the CBS Sports Network. Week 1, 19 regular season weeks, 2 rounds of the playoffs, and then Arena Bowl 26 on August 17th at 1 p.m. in Orlando. I think it's going to be fun that the Arena Bowl is going to be in Orlando.
Being in Orlando, which is one of the great markets in the Arena Football League, just a ferocious fan base there. It's a new jungle, a little different than the old jungle in Orlando, but people are into it. And then, as we mentioned at halftime with the commissioner, Kiss is going to be involved. They'll perform the night before. They'll be out there throughout the day of the game.
And I'm not promising Mickey Mouse is going to come to the game, but at least there's a chance to see him while we're down there, right? Robinson on the return. There's a penalty flag at the end of this return. But again, if you're new to arena football, a 13-point lead is not that big a deal.
Third return, holding by the receiving team, number 22. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Now, I want to remind everybody that penalty we heard about on number 12 for Philadelphia, Brian Robinson, and he's a key part of their defensive end. He can no longer play offense or defense because of his second penalty of that variety. And the reason for that is the league doesn't want the game slowed down by too many offside penalties. So Robinson can only participate now in special teams, but that's still a key factor. He had 7 block kicks last year. First and 10. Rodabah gets it to Andre Thurman. And Thurman actually started last season right here with the Arizona Rattlers before being sent over to Milwaukee. You combine his stats, he had a pretty good year. 72 catches for over 1,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. And if you're new to this game, you might feel like Philadelphia should be moving faster, but there's still a lot of time for an Arena Football League game.
A lot of time and a lot of possessions yet to take place. I mean, here on 1st and 10, this could be a strike opportunity where Philly goes for a touchdown right now.
Rodabah. Quick hitter Robinson makes the guy miss. Robinson is still dancing. Ball comes out, but he's ruled down at the 15-yard line.
Until you get late in the game, you normally don't see people really trying to go too up-tempo. You stay in rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. So you got 2 receivers
On the field,
running
but
off
the
the
runner
coverage,
did not
and then
hit the
outbounds
wall,
Robinson.
and he's down by contact, first down.
You just get him the football out in space, breaks the defender down, breaks him off.
I really appreciate about Sean Hockley, our head referee. He really is good at explaining the game. Tiger Jones forced out of bounds, and now we're going to take a listen here. Dan Rodabah with his head coach Clint Dozell.
Looks right, both straight right.
Question is, will they get the play?
There goes Dre. This is
not
coming
appear
in
they're in enough
standstill.
of a hurry.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Third quarter is complete. Arizona leads Philadelphia 52-39. You're watching Arena Football on the CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
We built
From the fans. He had all 3 championships tattooed. And I was also impressed, Nick Davila's son with the headbutt right before the start of the game.
I didn't notice Seth Bonner with any Rattlers championship tattoos.
He's got to show more of a commitment. Hey, Seth, I mean, the fans have the championship tattooed on their arm. I mean, what's the deal? Well, where's the love for the Rattlers from Seth Bonner?
My love for the Rattlers is always there, but there will be no ink on this pimple. It just doesn't work. I can't go in my mother's house with ink on me, man. What's wrong with you?
They're the 3 titles, 94, 96, and 2012.
And what a pleasure it was to go out to dinner with Seth Bonner in this town last night. Where people still know, they still remember the greatness that was in the 90s.
Guys like the mayor. Derek Ross, and he almost lost it, he did. Arizona football, and it's a foot race, and it's Marcus Pittman. Touchdown.
Seth Bonner was like the mayor last night, but Marcus Pittman, the big defensive end, he's been the mayor on the defensive side of the ball for the Rattlers today. That is the third football that he's gotten his hands on in this ball game, and he's been so close so many other times. And at 6'5", 290 pounds, he outruns Tiger Jones to the end zone.
Tonight has been a nightmare for Derek Ross. Yes, he scored 2 touchdowns, but he is one of the elite players in the game, and he has had problems holding on to the football. Lindholm's extra point is good. Now a 20-point lead with 13:23. We've seen crazier things. Don't give up on this one. But how about this? Marcus Pittman. Coach, I can fly. Give me the rock.
Reflect.
Marcus Pittman getting a little oxygen, and you know what? I'm a little sympathetic. I mean, the big guy's been everywhere tonight, including moments ago a 44-yard fumble recovery return for the touchdown.
He's earned every bit of that oxygen. At that size, you're not used to taking off for 40-yard sprints, especially not with the football in your hand. So all that excitement that boils up in a Marcus Pittman in a moment like that, you look at the other box and you see the antithesis of it. Derek Ross, no excitement going on right there. One of the great runners in the history of the AFL, not having the start to the season tonight that you would anticipate.
Off the crossbar. Here comes Robinson. It was like the play completely stopped. One thing I'll give Arizona credit for there was not kick-catch interference.
The ball was not caught up in the slack net. The runner caught it clean. He is allowed to advance. First down.
So 1st and 10 for Philadelphia. Now, it's a long season. 18 regular season games. And Derek Ross does have 2 touchdowns, but it has been a subpar night for Derek Ross. And, you know, confidence is a strange thing. They came into the Arena Bowl feeling like they were unbeatable. They'd won 10 in a row. They got beat badly in the Arena Bowl by Arizona, and now they're getting beat badly by Arizona tonight. Jones is open, but the ball's underthrown. And here are the turnovers for Derek Ross.
Well, there was one opportunity early in the game that got called back from an inadvertent whistle, but there have been 2 other fumbles throughout the remainder of the game, and Marcus Pittman has gotten his hands on the football every time that Derek Ross has coughed it up. I tend to call Derek Ross Gulliver because all the defenders look like little pieces around him, but tonight they've been able to contain the most dynamic fullback in the league.
One other key stat to add there, he does have 2 rushing touchdowns. Go! 2nd and 10. Rodabaugh throws and misses Alvance Robinson.
Now you do see the pass rush starting to pick up that much more for Arizona.
Robinson's going to the bench. Larry Brackens comes into the game. Can we get a shot of Larry Bracken's shoes? The neon yellow shoes for Larry Brackens. I was told when he came out on the field for warm-ups that they weren't going to let him wear the shoes. But here's Brackens with the neon yellow. See if it helps. The last remaining member of the 2008 championship team. Thurman. Nice catch. Good delivery from Rodabaugh.
Get in the huddle. Let's go. Hurry up. Go,
Bunch left, wing inside, 50, double post. Someone ready.
Where Brackens really comes in handy is anytime inside the 20 because he's got great size at 6'4", 221 pounds. They get it to Brackens. He's wrapped up after a gain of a few yards. Larry Brackens is still remembered for one of the most controversial plays in AFL history in the 2008 playoffs against the New York Dragons. At the end of the game, it appeared that New York had stopped Larry Brackens, but it was ruled a touchdown. Philadelphia won that game, then beat Cleveland, and went on to win the World Championship over San Jose. If you ask Aaron Garcia, when you see him, I can promise you week 3, it's his least favorite topic. It's that loss that season. And Brackens makes the catch. And he gets the 11-yard line. So, you know the people who are in charge of the Arena Football League. Those yellow shoes, there's no fine for that? I mean, those are allowed?
Allowed is not the word I would use to describe those shoes
Tolerated?
that Larry Brackens is wearing right now.
Tolerated? Is that a better word?
I would say tolerated is probably not the word that applies here either.
Okay. This is going to be a one-time thing?
Those are certainly not AFL issues.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. Thunder.
You heard Ron about saying boogie boogie. That's Larry Brackens' nickname. Thurman makes the catch.
Pass complete to Thurman.
Gain of 4 on the play.
And now that there's a 3-score lead that Arizona's opened up, you do see where Philadelphia's tried to pick up the pace, apply some more tempo. If they score here on this possession, you're going to see the Philadelphia Soul come back, attempt an onside kick, just to try to steal some of these possessions back that they've given up throughout the game.
Go!
Rodabov throws. Seemed like there was confusion on the routes.
Confusion in the backfield as well. Derek Ross started to lean before the snap, got away with one.
When you look at a guy like Larry Brackens, when you have a big target, is that what your mindset is when you get on this position of the field?
Well, you always want to check your guys that are movement and motion. Check those guys first, but you know you got that big, strong body to go to if you need it as a secondary guy.
Run it.
Incomplete, but a flag comes in. The back judge, I think, saw interference on Arizona.
I'll get one next time. That's interference by the defense, number 11, playing through the back. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Keith Brown. Let's see here. What do you think?
I do agree with the call, and I tend to like to side with the defense in situations like this. It was close. It was bang, bang. I can see why they made that call.
First and goal. Rodabov is batted back to Rodabov.
That wasn't Pittman again, was it?
Yes, I think it was. What a game he's having. I think he's a lock to be the defensive player of the game.
They may need to consider using Marcus Pittman on the offensive side of the football. He's got a touchdown tonight, which is more than several other players can say in this ball game. Continues to bat down passes, come up with strips, force fumbles, fumble recoveries.
10th play of the drive for the Soul, down 3 scores. They need some short drives. Rodabov throws, it's caught. They try to push the pile, the ball comes out. I think Kevin Guy was thinking about challenging this. Kevin Guy is actually calling for someone to put the replay up on the big screen.
He's still thinking about challenging this.
Kevin's like, I'm at home. Can't you put the replay up on the big screen? I think it's the right call. When he reached his hand out, that's when the ball came out. Ross. He's in for the touchdown, but there is a flag down.
Ross carries 1 yard for the Philadelphia touchdown.
Offside. by the defense number 11. That penalty is declined. The play results in a touchdown.
Wondering why would a defensive back like Arkeith Brown be offsides? But they were in a situation where they're expecting the run. They're anticipating that Derrick Ross is going to get the football. And he's working his way up towards the line of scrimmage. He just got past the line of scrimmage too early.
Very high snap, and this is going to be another failed extra point. If my memory is right, this is 4 failed extra points, and they still haven't blown the whistle. Arizona's trying to get some points out of this. Wow. Derrick Ross said that's not going to happen right now. I know we have the net 10 hit of the game. I think Derrick Ross just made himself a candidate. Took a little bit of frustration. And he just let it out.
Certainly not the award that Derrick Ross would have been looking for tonight, but like you mentioned, a frustrated football player, hasn't played at his regular high level throughout the game so far. Like the fact that he continues to hustle, though. And we should underline this point again. Brian Robinson, one of the great pass rushers in this league, but his first year ever as a long snapper. He continued to work on it in practice throughout training camp, spending additional time on the field. Still some work to do.
There were fouls by both teams on the play, holding by the kicking team prior to the change of possession, illegal forward pass by the receiving team after the change of possession. That foul carries a loss of down. The field goal is no good. We're going to go to the kickoff.
So 4 failed extra point attempts for Philadelphia. They trail by 14 points. Stick around, more football to come.
They're marching through the brackets and breaking down the entire field.
How many teams have that legit shot at going all the way in the team?
This year?
Yeah, right?
68.
I've said it nauseum for weeks. The 2 hardest teams.
Oh, flag?
Here is tonight's Net 10 wireless hit of the game.
It was on the toss play to the field side with Derrick Ross. He's usually the boss with the football in his hands. This is one of the highlights for the Philadelphia Soul fullback, refusing to be denied on his way to the paint.
There are the numbers for Derrick Ross. The 3 touchdowns put him in sole possession of the all-time rushing touchdown record for the Philadelphia Soul. But I think he'd take no touchdowns and a better performance overall from his team. Now there is still 6:23 to go, and it's a 2-possession game, and here comes an onside kick. And that ball is loose. And Philadelphia says they've got it. It's Brian Robinson, and they do. Last year they were 5 of 14 on onside kicks. They start the season 1 for 1. So like we told you, arena games are rarely over until it's really over. 6:17 to go, and Philadelphia can make it a 1-score game.
I love the variation of the onside kick they went with here. Carlos Martinez has probably more variations on the onside kick than any other kicker in the AFL. Didn't go with the high hop, just dribbled it over to the left. Rod Windsor there in the coverage team. He's on the hands team for a reason, but can't field it cleanly because that football is out long. You never know where it's going to swivel.
Some light for the Philadelphia Soul. Thurman in motion. Roundabout, quick hitter to Tiger Jones. He gets a block. And Jones forced out of bounds by Arkeith Brown. Big gain on the play.
Big gain on the play, big shift in momentum potentially being felt here. Andre Thurman runs off the coverage, and a great block there in space from Larry Brackens. That frees up Tiger Jones to be able to take the football into the 3rd level of the defense.
Tiger Jones has been by far Philadelphia's best weapon tonight. They can't get him the football enough. To Brackens, makes one guy miss. Brackens gets inside the 10.
No quit in the Philadelphia Soul, still fighting for every inch.
If you're Clinton Donzelli, this is when the character of your team is tested. You're down on the road, things are looking dire, but the Soul are battling.
Wait, wild stop. It's all about B-Line. We're good here. First down. Let's go. Bunch right, wing back, 92, double post, wide stop. First down, ready.
Bunch formation. Both receivers here to the field side. The motion is going to come just beyond them.
Rodabon to Jones. Jones dives for it. He's in. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Pass complete to number 11.
Tiger Jones now 7 catches, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I mentioned the variations of onside kicks from Carlos Martinez. I don't think there's anyone in the AFL with more celebrations after a touchdown than Tiger Jones. He certainly gets plenty of practice at it.
That's true. He spends a lot of time in the end zone. Martinez. If Philadelphia can execute an extra point, and they can. It's a 7-point game with 4:07 to go. All things considered, if you're Philadelphia, with all the turnover problems, they are back in the football game. Now the pressure goes on the Arizona Rattlers when we come back to U.S. Airways Arena.
Network is being brought to you by Net 10 Wireless. No contract wireless on America's best networks.
Perhaps the biggest play in our season opening broadcast coming from one of the smallest players on the field, Carlos Martinez, just a dribbler off the left foot to the short side of the field. The ball not recovered by Arizona, and that put the Philadelphia Soul in position, stealing that possession back as we've been talking about already.
What should they do here, Anthony?
I like the onside kick again. You haven't stopped them on defense so far anyway. Why kick it deep and give them the opportunity to go the long field?
And again, it's an onside kick, and Kerry Reed recovers it at the 14. There is an upside, too, for Philadelphia. It means that Arizona's likely to score quicker, in which case Philadelphia could score and go for another onside kick.
Precisely. I have no problem with this at all, and that's why you see certain coaches in the NFL finding situations to do this, too. They're learning from the AFL game. You have an opportunity now as a defense to defend the short field, your 15-yard line and in, and if Seth Bonner can hear me down at field level, said on the offensive side, how much does that change the playbook here where the field is more condensed?
It definitely changed the playbook. You want to work your if anything, short passing game or screen game, but you definitely got to get Odie Armstrong involved here in the run game.
Davila to throw, looking to the end zone, and Kaiser almost had a pick. Ball overthrown. Jared Perry, the intended target.
The chess match that ensues throughout the night between a defensive back and a wide receiver. We've watched Rayshon Kaiser throughout the game so far, undercutting routes. Now he's finally made the adjustment that I mentioned in the first half. Change your angle. When you come out of the speed turn, attack the upfield shoulder of the wide receiver. He's in better position at that point.
2nd and 10. Davila, quick hitter to Purify. And Purify stays on his feet, sets up 1st and goal.
The physicality that Kevin Guy talks about with his football team, it's on display in a moment like that where you see black jerseys laying on white jerseys, players from the Philadelphia Soul not having the ability to get off blocks. Nick Davila can throw the short pass and a wide receiver advancing the football unmolested because he's got his teammates out in space blocking for him.
Well, before we came back from commercial, Sid Bonner said they got to get Odie Armstrong involved, and here's a perfect opportunity. 1st and goal at the 2. The Davila wants to throw it right up. Wide open. Mo Purify. Touchdown Rattlers.
Now, I'm guessing Sid Bonner loves this formation even more than I do because you're wondering at home, how does Maurice Purify, this guy who we've seen featured by the Rattlers all night, one of the great receivers in the Arena Football League, get this open? It's by formation. You run a bunch set, you make the defense think the football is going to go to the boundary side just through the eyes of the quarterback. The linebacker evades that part of the zone, and Mo Purify is all alone in the paint.
Kick is on the way, and it is good. 1 minute and 40 seconds seconds to go. It's now a 14-point game. I did want to mention he's alone in the paint. I like this basketball reference during March Madness. It's not touched by you.
And all the folks there, the hashtag is on the screen, hashtag AFL on CBS. And Seth Bonner is down at field level.
Thanks, Nick. You guys got it back under control. You took the onside, scored. How's it been in the second half? What kind of adjustments have you had to make to convert this defense?
We just got to, offense was sitting on the bench for a long time, so we just got to get out there and get playing again. As you know, it's a possession game, so it's very important that we get the possession, and there's still a long game left, minute 40, so we got to keep playing.
How nice is it to have those big, strong receivers out there that you can throw those bubble screens, those quick screens, slip screens out to down in the red zone and get them in there?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. The big guys, they throw them in hitches and they take us to the house because they're so big and physical. And JP Perry's playing a great game as well, and the O-line are doing a fantastic job.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Ari?
Thank you, Sid. You know, Nick Davila, not only is he a great quarterback, but he really knows how to express himself as a quarterback and thank all the right people. Because sometimes in our game, it's so easy to focus on the quarterback, but he can't be successful if the other 7 guys to go. It's now a 14-point game. I did want to mention he's alone in the paint. I like this basketball reference during March Madness. It's not touched by you.
And all the folks there, the hashtag is on the screen, hashtag AFL on CBS. And Seth Bonner is down at field level.
Thanks, Nick. You guys got it back under control. You took the onside, scored. How's it been in the second half? What kind of adjustments have you had to make to convert this defense?
We just got to, offense was sitting on the bench for a long time, so we just got to get out there and get playing again. As you know, it's a possession game, so it's very important that we get the possession, and there's still a long game left, minute 40, so we got to keep playing.
How nice is it to have those big, strong receivers out there that you can throw those bubble screens, those quick screens, slip screens out to down in the red zone and get them in there?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. The big guys, they throw them in hitches and they take us to the house because they're so big and physical. And JP Perry's playing a great game as well, and the O-line are doing a fantastic job.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Ari?
Thank you, Sid. You know, Nick Davila, not only is he a great quarterback, but he really knows how to express himself as a quarterback and thank all the right people. Because sometimes in our game, it's so easy to focus on the quarterback, but he can't be successful if the other 7 guys don't work for him.
Without a doubt. And he's a sneaky, kind of a sneaky, fiery guy. You really don't get the sense when you just stand there and talk to Nick Davila how competitive he is.
Stevenson. Stevenson took that one that was misplayed off the net, and Coach Clint Ozell decided to give Stevenson a chance. So Philadelphia the ball outside their 13-yard line. Still a minute 28 to go. And let's take a listen here to coaching quarterback.
Left, fly back 50 wide. Read it, left side. Here you go, first down. Let's go left, wide back, 50, wide out, first down.
So now these are strike opportunities with just over a minute remaining. 2 scores down.
Rodaba looking for Jones, makes the catch. Jones had it. And they're going to rule it a completion.
That's a good
at the
call.
Arizona 23-yard line. An excellent call.
For the folks at home who are uninitiated, for a receiver going up into the air, his feet don't have to come down on the ground when he possesses the football. Great catch from Tiger Jones, even though the defender is right in position.
Every year, thousands of high school athletes.
That's our Net 10 Wireless fans of the game, and they're going to get a prize pack from Net 10 Wireless. They've been going at it all night long. They're just resting for the final minute. Now let's get into the strategy. The timing rules change. It's much more like outdoor football. So Philadelphia with 3 timeouts, they have the football down 2 scores. They just need to score fairly quickly and then hope they can get an onside kick. Even if they don't, they can move the game along and maybe get a second chance at it. Down. Now let's listen in to Coach. coach.
Pitch up, post, black curl. Ready on the wall, okay? First out. Trips left, 50. Double post, wide curl. First out.
Tiger Jones will be in motion, number 11. He's been the best weapon for the Soul all night. Rodabah throws. Jones makes the catch.
Radabah's pass complete to Jones, tackled by Gray and Brown.
Clock stops here.
Timeout, Philadelphia. Their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
So now they've definitely got the football in strike distance. And really, here at the 5-yard line, now at the 6-yard line, it looks like they're going to spot it. You almost don't want to get too close because you don't want the clock to continue to run. You're not going to run the football, and we can bring Seth Bonner into this discussion here. Seth, as you get here so close to the end zone, at this point, you can't even really utilize Derrick Ross, am I right?
Well, you can in the passing game if you want to throw that double release again, but this defense has been so disciplined, they're going to play a base probably and not bring any pressure. You got to throw the ball, to your point, you have to throw the ball and try to get it in as fast as possible.
That discipline that Seth's talking about, you saw even the pass that got deflected by Clint Dukes. He decided not to rush and stay in the passing lane.
Rodabah throws. Thurman makes the catch. And Philadelphia have to use the second timeout. Clint Dalzell's disgusted because he's telling Thurman, you got to get out of bounds. If you're going to catch it and get wrapped up, at least start going the other direction.
Timeout, Philadelphia. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, let us show you our upcoming schedule for Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday. Iowa and New Orleans next week. San Jose and Arizona right back here. That should be a great matchup. Philadelphia and Iowa. There'll be a big celebration that week as it's Hall of Fame induction week. So many great matchups along the way. You'll see a few of those teams.
Right? Well, you can in the passing game if you want to throw that double release again, but this defense has been so disciplined, they're going to play a base probably and not bring any pressure. You got to throw the ball, to your point, you have to throw the ball and try to get it in as fast as possible.
That discipline that Seth's talking about, you saw even the pass that got deflected by Clint Dukes. He decided not to rush and stay in the passing lane.
Rodabah throws. Thurman makes the catch. And Philadelphia have to use the second timeout. Clint Dalzell's disgusted because he's telling Thurman, you got to get out of bounds. If you're going to catch it and get wrapped up, at least start going the other direction.
Timeout, Philadelphia. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, let us show you our upcoming schedule for Net 10 Wireless Arena Football Saturday. Iowa and New Orleans next week. San Jose and Arizona right back here. That should be a great matchup. Philadelphia and Iowa. There'll be a big celebration that week as it's Hall of Fame induction week. So many great matchups along the way. You'll see a few of those teams a couple times. Any game in Spokane you can't miss. To see there on June 1st, San Jose and Spokane, a great West Division rivalry. And the season will conclude Philadelphia at San Antonio.
And the way the Arena Football League and the CBS Sports Network were able to set up the regular season schedule, every team in the AFL will be featured on a home game.
Second and goal. Rodabah. Picked off. Marquise Floyd in the right place at the right time.
You want to see the textbook look at how you bait a quarterback. Let's have another gander at Marquise Floyd on this play. Kevin Guy just told us earlier today, he believes Marquise Floyd is one of the great defensive backs that he's ever coached. And this is a guy who's done it at a high level as a defensive coordinator and as a head coach throughout his tenure in the AFL. But did you see how Floyd just falls off the route? He makes it look like he's going to guard Tiger Jones outside the end zone, and then the spacing that's there between himself and the middle defender, Virgil Gray, he's able to fall back and then go up into the sky.
Timeout, Philadelphia. Their third timeout of the half.
Kevin Guy
30 seconds, timeout.
Marquise Floyd may one day end up in the Hall of Fame. This is a guy who's already played in 4 Arena Bowls. Only in his 6th year in the AFL, Marquise Floyd, phenomenal career.
Daddy love you, baby.
You see 34 career interceptions. And he ran all the way over to give it to a fan. He went across the field.
The top 20, Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch, but I think Kyle Petty hit the nail on.
Arena Bowls. Only in his 6th year in the AFL, Marquise Floyd, phenomenal career.
Daddy love you, baby.
You see 34 career interceptions. And he ran all the way over to give it to a fan. He went across the field.
The dejection on the face of Derek Ross. He's usually a guy who has a positive imprint for his team every time he puts his hands on the football.
If Arizona gets forward progress, this is the end of the game. Philadelphia's out of timeouts.
Gain of 1, second down.
And that's your ball game. What will you take away from this game, Anthony Herron?
The Arizona Rattlers may be even better than they were last season. When you look at the product they put on the field tonight and you think about some of the talent who really wasn't even featured yet. Rod Windsor wasn't featured very heavily. Tyson Boots wasn't in the lineup. Jeremy Kellum, one of the best rookie DBs, didn't make any plays. It's a strong outfit.
Our final score from the U.S. Airfield Center in Phoenix. The Rattlers 66, the Soul 52. On behalf of Anthony Herron and Cedric Bonner and our entire crew, I am Ari Wolf. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's take you out to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the PBR Bill Ford Cup Series Ty Murray Invitational. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everybody.
CBS Sports Family of Networks, the highest standard in television